Well. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Smooth Jazz on luckystraps.com. That was a joke. It was a terrible joke. This is the Camera Life podcast, of course. I just felt that smooth jazz intro, it spoke to me in various ways. Anyway, I've completely derailed the show in the first 30 seconds. So welcome, everybody. This is the Camera Life podcast. It is the 29th of January. I can't believe January is almost over. And we are coming to you live from Melbourne, Bendigo, and Sydney.
Yes, Sydney
in New South Wales in Australia. And of course, today's episode wouldn't be possible without the generous support of our premium sponsor, Lucky Straps, which is also us. We make handmade, Aussie-made premium leather camera straps to suit every camera that you could imagine and to help you connect with your craft. Head to luckystraps.com and have a look at our products there. Use code Greg at the checkout and you'll get a healthy discount, courtesy of me. Really, it's courtesy of Justin, but, I like to take credit when I can. But yes, obviously the boss is here. G'day, Justin. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I was just saying to Matt before the show started that I've been up for 3 hours and I'm feeling great. Feeling wonderful.
You'll crash by midday.
Yeah, no idea how you do that one.
No, it's the only way to start a podcast morning is to up by 5, exercise by 6, home, coffee, breakfast, walk, and then into the podcast. That's how I roll.
Look at you go. Role model citizen. And of course, we are joined today by a special guest, Matthew Garberg. G'day, Matthew. How are you?
Hey, guys. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Enjoying the early wake up.
Oh, is this early for you, 9 o'clock? Wow. That speaks volumes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's
My youngest son, first day back at school this year, he's doing year 9, so I had to get up early to make sure he actually realized it was a school day and not still the holidays. I'm back to that schedule. So that's delightful. But of course, Matthew, we're gonna dig into your story in a little more depth. But I do have a question for you, and I think you're probably in one of the best positions to answer this question. What does it mean for you today to be a working professional paid photographer and videographer in 2025, 2026? What are the challenges that you've faced in entering an already crowded market?
What challenges haven't I faced is probably a better question. God, where do I start? Everything from finding clients to managing delivery, managing expectations, getting around just, finding things to shoot that isn't already essentially taken by someone else. Like it's a very sort of, I don't want to say difficult. It's not extremely difficult. It's just a very tedious process to find, worthwhile clients and people who not only do you enjoy doing, the work for, but they also pay you, what's deserved, let's say.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, I have an interesting question on that. And after this question, we'll say g'day to the chat, and there's some good comments in there starting to roll in as well. So if you're listening, jump in the chat, talk to us about what it's like to be a photographer in 2026, especially young up-and-coming photographers and videographers. My question, Matthew, to get the show rolling is, do you think it's an advantage or a disadvantage to be a young photographer or videographer in 2026 compared to someone who's more established, more senior, been in the industry for decades, say? Do you think you've got an advantage or a disadvantage being young?
Well, my back and my knees are in really good condition, so I think that that's a pretty good advantage to start with.
Yeah, fair start.
Yep. Yeah.
Look, it does have its pros and cons. Being younger, I feel like I'm a little bit more in touch with the social media side of things. As much as I really don't enjoy that type of content, I'm not someone who, gets their camera and goes, "Oh, I'm gonna do it this way."
Good.
There's a time and a place, and I really don't enjoy that time and place. But look, being young does help because I've experienced a lot of older generation photographers are very much stuck to their own ways. Like they've got it in their head that they want to do it one way, and that's the only way to do it. And if you go in and you go, oh, I have a different way of doing it that's going to get you this, 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 and this, people will look at it and go, oh, something different, you know, something that's not what we've seen from every other person we've ever hired. So, there are pros and cons to it. You also do get looked at like, oh, he's a young bloke. He doesn't know. He's not got the experience. He's not got this. He's not got that. You do, you know, I do find you kind of get looked at a little bit differently, but it's not as bad as I think some people would make it out to be. It's I've not had it really ever affect my own work, but I know that it is something that exists because I've worked with people who have, you know, other shooters and stuff who have kind of gone, oh, you're a bit young to be doing this. It's like, yeah, but you know, I've been shooting for long enough that I can keep up.
Yep. And I guess at the end of the day, your work, you know, counters that argument with, well, this is what I captured. You know, this is what I'm delivering.
Exactly. I guess it's more about whether it's hard to get the foot in the door, get the work in the first place. With that, if people have that sort of maybe a preconception that maybe you don't have the experience to do what they need or whatever, it could be hard. But then once you get in, the work is the only thing that matters, and how you treat your clients. They don't care how old you are after you've been given the chance to work with them. Essentially,
yeah, and I still think that's one of the harder things about, you know, working in this industry now is getting your foot in any door ever. Is so, it's so much easier said than done. I'm not going to say it's difficult, because you can get your foot in the door. It's about getting through the door that's difficult sometimes. But my biggest piece of advice is to just talk to people. Just talk, and it will open so many more doors than anyone could ever just tell you to do. You know, oh, go start shooting, it'll open doors. No, go start talking to people. That's how you get work, and that's how you get interesting work as well.
Yeah, exactly. And
good call.
I think that is something that I don't know whether it's true or not, but there tends to be a fair bit of a stigma against I don't know what you call them. I guess the younger generation, that they're less willing to go and talk to people face to face in a room, a stranger. Say it like when we're at the Bright Festival of Photography there. I think most people's preconceived, I guess, bias would be that a young person in that environment would be more likely to be on their phone rather than mingling with some industry person or whatever. And I'm sure that's a generalization that's not true of everybody, but it does seem to be maybe more common now that it's sort of harder for young people to just walk up to someone and say, "Hey, I'm Justin. I'm a new photographer here. What's your name?" You know, like that's not an easy thing for a lot of people to do, and that's what you were doing. So there is that.
In saying that, I was guilty of sitting there playing games on my phone for a little bit at BFOB.
We've all done that. I didn't have time. No, never.
Yeah, you guys were chockers the whole weekend. But I had a few moments there. But no, it is something even I say to other photographers that I know is just talk to people. Like, it doesn't necessarily matter, you know, if you know them, if you want to know them, just talk to people, because you truly just do not know what will ever happen. I think my best example was I shoot up at the local skate park, and I was taking some photos of the guys riding, and one of their fiancés or wives came over to me, and she's like, "Oh, do you do this full time?" And I ended up landing at the time one of the biggest gigs ever that I had ever shot through talking to her, because she knew the owner of a construction company that needed a what's it called? Convention, sort of like a building convention shot. And their budget was whatever I said.
Yeah.
So, but it was like, I went from shooting skateboarding to shooting a giant, you know, trade
corporate
convention
event.
in one conversation. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you truly never know what doors will open just talking to anyone.
Yeah, I have to
Great
agree
advice.
with you. And while we're on we do have this topic of BFOP that's threaded throughout our interview today. I found that running the Lucky Strap store with Justin and Jim at BFOP, that just talk to people. It's not a sales pitch. I'm just saying, hey, how you going? What camera are you using? How you enjoying the festival? And we made so many connections just through that simple, like you've described, that simple process of just engaging with people and celebrating what it is that we all love to do. We are going to dive into more in a moment. But maybe, Justin, do you want to say good morning to some folks? There's already a bit going on in the chat.
There is a bit going on in the chat. Just the first comment I'll ask is a recent one. Gareth Davies, new member. Thanks, Gareth, for becoming a member.
Gareth.
He actually selected the send Greg to Japan membership, I think. So that's one, Greg. You're off the races. We only need about 1,000 more, and you'll be going to Japan. Gareth says, this is so true. I've been asked before how I was able to photograph something, how I was photographing something. And I said, I asked someone. Yeah, exactly. It's like if you don't ask, if you want permission to shoot a something, a subject, a building, or whatever it is, a location, the first step is just to find out. Instead of saying, oh, I'd love to get in there. Find out who is in control of it and ask them. So,
I mean,
sorry, go on, Matt.
To kind of piggyback on that, I see that it's very dependent. I do have the approach coming from shooting cars and everything. Sometimes you're in places that maybe not quite meant to be. I also find when it's worth it for the shot, sometimes it is easier to just ask forgiveness.
Depending on what the red tape is and whether you're breaking any laws or whatever, as opposed to just like you're not supposed to. Yeah.
If you're not doing anything truly wrong, it's all bets are kind of off. But don't ever be afraid by a little bit of a rule.
Yeah,
a rule.
Get to know your boundaries so that you can ride them and step over just a little. I think that's
right.
Yeah. Make it clear. Laws and rules are different though.
That's right.
You gotta respect the laws, but the rules.
The youth today, Justin. No appreciation.
Okay, we'll clip that one. Laws and rules are different. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, who else is in the chat? Paul, good morning. Oh, Matthew Garberg.
Paul.
That's that guy. Good morning. Tin Type Man is there. Robert Varner, hello from a very cold New Jersey. I bet it is freezing there. David Leperati, good morning, everyone. It's probably where else? Felicity Johnson, morning, too hot to head out on my weekly Thursday birding, so I get to watch you live. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Flick. Sorry you're missing out on your birding. Yeah. And then we've got some comments coming in from David Mascaro. Damn, almost forgot to watch. It's not cold where you are, David. You guys didn't end up with the snow. You're too south to be getting snowed in San Francisco. Okay. And
Nick Fletcher's joined the chat too.
Nick Fletcher's joined the chat, and then there's a heap of comments from Dennis that I want to get to. Nick Fletcher says, welcome here until my next meeting starts. So make the next 15 minutes epic. Okay, Matt, make them epic.
Why is he welcoming us?
I don't know. Well, thanks, Nick. I like to be welcomed to our own podcast.
Thanks,
that's cool.
I feel special. Yeah, well done. You.
And then a few comments from Dennis. Dennis Smith, School of Light, says, hey, saw this young fella's face pop up, had very nice memories of our interaction at BFOP. And then follows up with, it's never been harder in this industry, but with the right attitude, it's very doable. And this guy seems to have that in spades. Go. And then Dennis says, young, how old are you? I'm assuming that's directed at me because I said young people. Because like, how old are you, Matt?
I'm only 21.
That's right. You are young by definition.
By definition, I'm very young.
But he has been using a camera for 8 years. So
that's right.
Yeah. So shout out to my dad, who put a camera in my. He went, "Yep, yours now." And from there, the addiction has well and truly built up.
You might need Dad to help pay the rent right now, but you've got the lenses. That's all that matters.
Yeah. The lenses matter more than anything.
Yeah, exactly. Adam Edwards also in the chat. Good to see Adam. If you haven't listened to Adam Edwards' interview with us from a few weeks ago, go and check that out after this show. It is a
And also
cracker.
check out his YouTube channel. He's dropping pearlers from his time in
Yeah.
Africa. So yeah, definitely go check that out. Amazing work and really insightful guidance, which is
Yeah.
cool.
And then if David Mascara says 65-ish in San Francisco, which is either extremely hot or Fahrenheit, in which case it's chilly, but
Mild.
not freezing.
Yeah.
Mild. And Robert Varner doesn't remember when he was 21. Fair enough.
No, I don't know.
I don't know if I do now. Final comment before we get back into the interview. Paul says, hats off to anyone and all of you with an entrepreneurial streak that don't rely on someone from the government sticking money in their bank account every second Thursday. Yeah, or sometimes we do if business doesn't go well. We might need that. But yeah, it's a good way to live. It can be stressful, but it's a good way to live, I think.
It's empowering.
Ooh. High from balmy Minneapolis, -13°C here right now. Oh my gosh. Scepter, stay inside. Scepter 106.7. Yeah, that is chilly.
Where's
Crazy.
Minneapolis in the States, Justin? Where is it located?
Sort of centery, and I
Yep.
think it's right on a massive lake. It's like
yep.
a huge inland lake that's almost feels like an ocean. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure because it's Minnesota, and I think Minneapolis is on the shore of a lake that I can't remember what it is. Minneapolis lakes. I can't even type today.
What happened to you? I got up at 5 o'clock. I'm on
Yeah.
King of the World.
Chain of lakes. Maybe it's not on the big lake that I'm thinking of.
Isn't that like Seattle has a big lake? I don't know America. Anyway.
I don't know. Anyway, but there's a lot of lakes. I think it's called something about the states, like a whole lake thing. It's like their vibe, like the state of lakes or something like that.
The Great Lakes.
I was gonna say the Great Lakes rings a bell.
It could be that.
That's
Could be
terrible.
that. And -7.7 C
Only.
in New Jersey only. Yeah, that's not cold.
That's crazy.
Melbourne morning.
And
that is
Japan
crazy.
too had huge snow dumps and storms.
Yeah.
I bet you're missing that powder, Justin.
I've been getting sent a lot of reels, and I have definitely not opened a single one of them because I am sad that I didn't book a trip this year. I should have.
Well,
it was on the list, and
I
then
was offering to
thought,
go
no,
with you.
We've got
but,
too much.
you
I
know-
know I've still got a post-it note up on my thing that's got the dates for CP Plus in
Yokohama.
Japan. Yeah, 27th to the 1st of March.
Well, it's
I
not too
was
late
like-
to book. Just
I was
saying.
saying-
Probably
There's
is.
time.
Oh, I know, but everything will be booked out and flights will be gone. And anyway, but yeah. Anyway, let's get back into this thing.
Have you traveled much overseas, Matthew? I know you've been around the country. You love your road trips. What about heading abroad?
I haven't done much abroad stuff recently. The most recent thing that I brought a camera to was a little trip to London and then Ireland, which was beautiful. I loved it. I had so much fun. Outside of that, I've done a few trips to the US when I was like tiny weeny, didn't have a camera at that point. But the last the big trip that I did shooting was London and Dublin specifically on St. Patrick's Day. So they were,
wow.
Yeah. So Dad's birthday falls on St. Patrick's Day. So we're like, okay,
Wow.
60th, make it big.
Where are you going to go?
Yeah. So we went, and it was once in a lifetime. Truly one of those things that I tell people you've got to go do it once. To see that, I've never seen that amount of people just crowd into streets. It was chockers. I remember walking through. I've literally got the 16 to 35 held above my head, just clicking shots, praying that I get something. And there are some incredible photos.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Very cool.
Now, you've mentioned your dad a couple of times in BFOP.
Yes.
We met you and your father. This year was, 2025 BFOP. And for anyone that's not in the know, that's the Bright Festival of Photography, which happens every year around kind of October, November-ish, every year in the Alpine region town of Bright. And so we met you there I think we were out at night. We were near the river where Dennis was thrashing around in a wetsuit, light
Yep.
painting water.
Still don't know how
One
he
of the
did
most
that.
bananas, bizarre things I've ever seen. But gosh, the images that people shot. Anyway, I digress. We met you and your dad. We're having a chat, and I think Justin or someone made a point about Canon. I don't know why, and you answered with a really insightful view on what we were discussing, and that instantly impressed me. And we've chatted a few times over the festival. Your dad was with you at BFOP last year. Talk to me a little bit about the inspiration that your dad has been for your craft and the support that he gives you.
Where do I start? Support, mate. I can't thank, honestly, I can't thank my parents enough for the support that they've been there every time I say I used to say I want to give this up. They would go, no, you have this talent, you've got to do it, but Dad's really like, he's the driving force behind why I do a lot of this. He's the one that handed me his old 450D and said, go nuts. He used to shoot, he shot, before I could even understand what photography was. He used to do all the Photo 5 comps at a little photography club near us. And there's one image, I talk about this every time, of all these hundreds and thousands. It's a macro shot of all these hundreds and thousands on the kitchen counter. And we were talking, I can't for the life of me remember his name, but we were talking to one of the blokes at Canon, and he used to do all the judging for the Photo 5, and he actually remembers that exact photo.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Dad's been shooting.
And for anyone, sorry, just quickly, just some interpretation. Hundreds and thousands are sprinkles that you put on cakes. Just in case anyone abroad has a different term for it.
Yeah, I forget that might be a regional thing.
Hang on, are they the round balls, or are they the little the round balls are hundreds and thousands, right? The little longer ones, they're sprinkles?
Yeah, they're sprinkles.
Wow. Your baking knowledge is
There's a differentiation there that's quite important. I think that's the key. Round balls, hundreds and thousands, right? So the ones the ones that are on Smarties.
What?
Yes.
What?
Smarties? No, not Smarties. What are the other
Freckles.
ones?
Freckles.
Freckles. That's it. Damn it.
Yeah.
Freckles. I really know my chocolates. Freckles. That's right. They're the little round balls on the top.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So it was a macro shot of those, and it was
a macro shot of
those. Get the attention of the judges.
It was incredible, and I very, very clearly remember this shot, and I should actually go recreate it one day. But that was so dad really got me into all of this, and got me, as much as Greg's not gonna like this, got me all on the Canon. So I've been shooting
He's
Canon,
a good dude.
Canon since the start. And everywhere. Like he obviously brought me down to BFOP, the first time. So first year for me was 24.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, we're doing this photography festival. I went, oh, so, what's this going to be like? We booked it. I wasn't excited. 8 hours driving. And then we got there. I was like, holy shit. This is incredible. We did
the camera party.
That was our first. Yeah, it is. That was our first year too, and that was our response. Holy shit!
It was. I wasn't expecting it. I think definitely got hooked within the first day. We did the big bus trip off rip, and it was just. I don't think I've ever fallen in love with a place faster. That entire Alpine region is. It holds a very special place in my heart now, especially after 2 years at BFOP. And now having been back outside of BFOP, it's like you feel at home sometimes. Like, wow.
Yeah.
So
that's very cool. I'm interested about so the very first time your dad had spotted it, had he been before, or he was taking a chance on the festival as well?
No. So we know the guys that run the AV. They're good friends of ours, Craig.
Right. Awesome.
Craig is a very good friend of ours. Shout out to Craig if you're watching. But yeah, Craig and my dad go pretty far back. And that's how he got in, he knew about it, got involved in it, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So you had a bit of an idea of what to expect, but based on the branding of the festival, or not the branding, whatever, like the content that was available. I'm just wondering whether, as someone who is like 20, are you looking at that and thinking, and then thinking about, like, we're seeing a lot of these creator festivals popping up that have a lot slicker branding. They're at like a big venue. I went to the one in Sydney. What was it called?
The Creator Summit, the Fujifilm.
Yeah, Creator Summit.
No, not the Fujifilm one. I don't know. It was another
the one that Sony put on, didn't they?
No, it was a new initiative, all brands.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was one of those names where you remove the vowels, so it's just the letters. I can't remember. This one.
Framefest. I was about to say
Frumfest. Thank you, Adam. I was like, I knew what I was thinking, but I couldn't quite get it out. So there's those sort of things popping up. Would that style of thing appeal to you more than something like BFOP when you're just looking at it from an outsider? No. Before you went there.
Even before, like, okay, I'm not usually the type to go to these festivals and whatnot. I usually just, it's not something I don't really sit there and quite listen to people just talk and talk and talk and talk, unless you guys.
Good save.
Nice save.
But it's the BFOP is all about doing, right? It's all about getting out there and actually shooting and learning and being in amongst everything. All these the frame fests and whatnot. It's not as much like it's not as.
It's closer to a trade show. It's a trade show with. They did have a lot of demonstrations there, but they weren't. Yeah, like people had their cameras out, but I've got a few photos of it, and this isn't criticizing because it's a different thing. They weren't trying to put on a BFOP, but there was there'd be 30 people crowded around a model or something, holding their cameras up, just trying to get a photo, kind of thing. It was more of like interactive talks. I would probably explain it, rather than like workshops where you head off and do something very sort of hands-on, and there might only be 15 people, 12 people, and you get a lot of time with someone like Dennis or Adam or whoever. So it's different. Okay, so you're not really an expo kind of person, or a...
No, I would take BFOP or a BFOP like event any day of the week over an expo or a show, a media trade show or something. Like, it's cool and all to see the new gear and whatnot being shown off, but seriously, like, I do have to make a mention of this with BFOP. The guys at Canon were so good. Like, the gear hire is directly contributing to their revenue.
It's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
What did they loan you? What did they loan you? And did you end up buying it?
Yes, I did end up buying it. But I have to preface this with I have an EF 70-200, and now prior to November last year, that was my only, that was my 70-200 2.8. Loved it. It's a Series 1. That lens is older than I am. That lens, it was released in 2001 or 2002. So it is older than I am. It works, without fail, it works. But it was starting to show its age with the RF bodies and everything. And at BFOP, I rocked up to the Canon stand and I'm like, hey, do you guys have the new, like the very, very new RF 70-200? And they went, yeah. I went, can I loan it for a day? And they went, sure, take it.
Wow.
I went and shot up on top of Mount Hotham with it. I was blown away by this thing. It was leaps and bounds better than my 25-year-old EF. So, like 5 weeks later, I went and bought it.
Got it.
I got it.
Yeah, so it's the Z, like they call that the Z version, the one that doesn't extend. I've got the extendy one.
Yeah, so this is I've gotten into a really bad habit of just buying the USMZ lenses.
Yeah.
Because I also do a
Okay.
little bit of video.
Yeah.
Well, I say a little bit, a lot of bit. It's about 50-50 at the moment. These lenses are just the best. I don't think I could ever shoot with anything else.
Yeah.
Like obviously
Oh,
you've got
no.
your
Now you've become a Canon snob.
no,
And a
it's
heavy lens snob.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the weight is really getting to me. This is a 1.2 or 1.3 kilo lens. The 70 to 200's just a kilo.
Yeah,
So
they're
this is actually
light.
it's a really light 70 to 200. But that's not to say I wouldn't shoot on like a Pancake 22. They're fun lenses. Those are some really fun lenses. So I'm not against it, but I've really fallen in love with internally zoomed all-in-one lenses.
Yeah, it makes a lot
like
of sense for video, and that's obviously why Canon had them on their roadmap. Like it's, they weren't for me because I don't need that stuff, and I do shoot video, but not. I don't even own a gimbal for my cameras. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't tell my clients that I just don't have one. They
You're on
never
the
ask.
R5.
R5 II, and now the R6 Mark III.
Oh, you got the 3. Ooh.
Yeah. And the R3 as well, but only 2 out of the 3 are staying. It's like they're having a showdown at the moment, a fight to the death, and one of them will have to leave the island soon.
The R3 can go.
It probably will, although I want to do a proper high ISO test, and I might actually make a video about it because I think the high ISO on the R3 is still superior to both of them. So for sports, I have to shoot sports pretty regularly in dim locations, natural light. So at like 6400 is pretty common, 3200 really, really common, and colors and contrast seem to hold up a lot better. You can definitely make the others work in Lightroom, but it's just like there's more there with the R3, and I'm looking at it thinking, can I really let that go? It's so good, but
yeah.
It's an expensive camera, and the R6 Mark III is just a killer do-it-all camera that's on the cheaper side. Like if I travel with it, as much as I'd rather have the resolution of the R5 Mark II, it's like it'd still suck if I got it stolen or whatever, but like it does everything good enough, does video great, does everything good enough, and it's on the cheaper side. So it's like it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and that's it's actually really funny that you've got the R3 and the R5 too, because those are my 2 options, right? I shoot a lot of sports, so I was like, oh, the R3 makes plenty of sense, 30 FPS, but it's 24 megapixel. Okay, that's that's not terrible. By no means is that terrible, but when you're cropping in, as far as I'm cropping, sometimes it's like, the 45 at 30 is really nice.
Yeah, I don't really crop on the R3. Because the sports that I shoot, I can position myself like I'm shooting mountain biking. So sometimes the handlebars like graze me as the rider comes past. I can position myself where I want to be so that cropping. I almost never crop unless I've mucked the photo up. So that wasn't really a problem for me. But if you were sort of shooting motorsport and stuff where you may not have the ideal lens for that shot that you want to get in that moment because you're behind a barricade or a fence or whatever, cropping would be super handy on the R5 Mark II. And the autofocus on that thing is as close to the R3 as you can get, and in some respects better, but in some respects not as good. But it's so close that if you didn't have the 2 cameras to compare, it's a non-issue. You could only notice having them side by side.
Well, the only thing, and I've said this to the guys at Canon, the only thing I don't like that I don't have on the R5 II is that little thumb, like the not quite joystick. It's the
best thing. It's the best thing Canon have ever done.
It is one of the best features.
Yeah, it is one of the best features. I wish it was on every camera. Get rid of the joystick if I would prefer the optical thumb button.
Yeah.
The optical thumb back button, focus button, which is only available on the R3 and now the R1, should be on every camera. It's on the R1.
Doesn't? No, I know it's on the R1. One of the other ones has it. Like one of the R7s or something has it, doesn't it?
Oh, maybe. I don't shoot crop sensors.
Swear. Yeah, I was gonna say one of the crop sensor ones I think has it. Someone might have
Another Canon snob.
They're Canon crop sensors, so it's not a Canon thing. It's a pixels. I don't know. I was just kidding. But yeah, so there is one, but if I had to bet, I would bet no, but maybe. But definitely R3 and R1. And anyway, they haven't put it on the R5 Mark II. They should have, please. That would have just been amazing to include that. But obviously, they wanted to share so much of the body of the R5 II and the R6 III. Maybe then that was going to be an issue. But yeah, that optical thing. When Petapixel wrote an article about why don't cameras have touch sensitive, like this was only in the last few months or something. They wrote this big article saying why don't cameras have touch sensitive pads on the back of them? Because the original Canon R had this weird touch slider that they got rid of because no one really liked it. It was you could use, it was like a sideways slider thing.
Yes, I hated that.
Yeah, no one
hated that with a passion.
No one liked it. And so they referenced that and they were like, here, see, it kind of got tried, but we think it could be done better. And I was like, it has been done better. Canon did it in the R3, in the R1, and it's amazing. It's just wherever you move your thumb in an instant, the focus point is there. It's so good.
Yeah.
The other one. Yeah.
I got to tell you something, Matthew. I got to tell you something. Do you use eye autofocus tracking?
I was about to start talking about the eye autofocus.
I'll come back in about half an hour. All right.
Wait till you see this.
Oh boy.
We've created a nerd fest. Sorry, folks.
So for those of you non-Canon users, we're not talking about eye tracking of the subject. Or I assume that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where it tracks where your pupil's looking and puts the autofocus point there, which I don't use a lot, but it does work really quite well. I prefer that thumb thingy because I like to just have independent control because sometimes I find I'm scanning the frame around the outside when I don't want it to focus there, but it's not a big issue. I borrowed this off my friend Lisa because she's currently got my Leica Q3. This is a Canon EOS 3 film camera.
Yeah.
This is the other Canon camera that had eye autofocus tracking.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah. This is the first one that had it.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
How old is it, Justin?
90. Hang on. Why doesn't it tell me straight away? I should have went release date. Come on, Google AI.
Just while you're doing that, I'm just going to jump to a comment from Paul because it mentions Fujifilm. Greg, if it makes you feel better, I clicked on an XE5 video the other day, and now my YouTube feed is nothing but Fuji. Welcome to the enlightenment that is Fujifilm. Anyway.
Hold on, I have an idea. So I'm using it at the moment, and yeah, I can look at me, and it's focusing on me. I can look at Matthew. It moves it over there. It's like it's not quite as good, but it's moving it around. Now, this is black and white. We'll do it anyway. Hey, smile, guys. Cool. Yeah, it's.
I think I blinked.
I'll do it again. Anyway, it was so good to to just see this tech in 1998. Did I tell you that? November 1998, this thing come out. Canon EOS 3. And yeah, it works. I'm so surprised that they didn't revisit it until the R3.
Mm.
It seems kind of crazy because it did work. I don't know. I wonder what the problem was. It's even got like a manual like calibration knob up here and stuff. It's hard to that's really cool to track, to do the eye tracking and stuff and calibrate it. Yeah, it's old school. Anyway,
I use it mainly in motorsport because it's really easy to just flick your eyes back and forth to follow the cars, and it's
each different car as it enters the frame.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's way quicker, especially for I find for panning, it's really, really good for panning. You got to calibrate it though. You really have to calibrate. I can't stress that enough. You have to calibrate it because it will not work if you don't calibrate it.
Yeah. And I think there's been some people on the internet say that it just didn't work for their eyes, even after multiple calibrations. There's some people's who the way their eyes work or the way that the light reflects or something, it just doesn't track it properly.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that you'd want to, if you were buying a camera for that feature, you'd definitely want to test it out beforehand in a store and calibrate it and make sure it works for you.
Big time.
Yep.
Pretty cool feature though.
Very cool feature.
I hope it stays
Very
around.
interesting. Yeah, I think so. And I think I hope, like Petapixel said, I hope more camera brands play with touch sensitive interactive buttons rather than just buttons and dials, or hey, just use the touch screen, because I hate using the touch screen on the camera.
And I think that's what a lot of brands have leaned into. Oh, the touchscreen, you like Fujifilm do it. You can, select your focus point. You can slide your finger around or your thumb while you're holding it, but it's not responsive enough.
It's not tactile. It doesn't.
Because at the end of the day, the touch function is a secondary function for it. Its primary purpose is to be a monitor. But I mean, we've got the technology. You see it in like Apple MacBooks or laptops that have a trackpad rather than a traditional mouse kind of setup. That technology exists today. And you're right. I think more brands should lean into that. For sure.
I love having David Leparati in the chat. Okay, because I didn't know any of this. The Canon EOS 5E 50E film cameras had eye tracking autofocus. EOS 5 had 5 points across the frame, and the 50E had 3 points across the frame. Yeah, whereas this was the next gen autofocus that I think has like 30 or 40 autofocus points. So it's 45. So it's more like the earlier DSLRs where you've got that like cluster of points, around. Whereas, so my 1N, which is here, only has, 5 across, straight line through the middle. And that's all you can select. And it doesn't have eye autofocus or anything. Thanks, David. I thought the 3 was the only one. So they must have all come out in the same year same like series or whatever. And then they just ditched it.
Yep.
Now,
okay.
There's a question in there from Dennis that I'm looking at.
All right, I'll read it out.
I was going to say.
Question for Matthew from Dennis. Is OpenGate a clickbait debate, or as a 21-year-old whippersnapper, do you wake up wet thinking about having it?
Nah.
I didn't read the full question before I read it out loud. So, what's your take? What's your take on OpenGate?
I do not care if a camera's OpenGate or not. It makes no difference to me. It's pitched as this, you can film in one orientation and get both out. I don't care. Like, if I'm shooting something, right, I'm shooting it with intent. I'm shooting with the intent to either be, vertically or horizontally displayed. Like if I'm shooting, let's say a bike video for Instagram, I'm going to just shoot it vertical. I'm not shooting landscape and using OpenGate to make it vertical. It's not, I do think it is just clickbaity. Like, oh, look, we've got OpenGate. I don't know, Justin, if you've used it much on the R6 III. Yeah.
Nah. It's not. I'd come down on the other side of this than Dennis a little bit, because I can definitely see its applications. If you're shooting a bike review in 2 hours or 3 hours on location, hybrid photo and video, and they want to be able to make social media reels for it, and you've got a rider riding a bike up and down a hill trying to get shots. Currently, we're already doing multiple takes to get multiple angles and stills and video each time. And so like you're going to burn them out fairly quickly if you have to be like, okay, now I'm going to do a vertical. But that being said, for me, for what we do, and this is what other people have said, I would just frame it up so that you could crop the vertical out of 4K footage. It's fine for what is required for my job. I don't need OpenGate. But if I could imagine someone being more professional saying, I can't just crop the vertical out of 4K. I need, I don't know, whatever, slightly better footage or something. That's not something I You know, I'm not going to say they don't need that, but I personally don't really need that. I would just frame it up so that the vertical would, because again, a bike ride is probably a little bit harder with a car because a car takes up that horizontal space.
Exactly.
So you sort of don't have a lot of options. And maybe open gate could be a little bit handy, but it's probably still not going to be great because it's still not wide enough. It's not like enough. I don't know.
Well,
it's an interesting topic.
That's kind of where I sit on it is, you know, as I said, if I'm going to shoot it, I'm going to decide what I want it to be before I shoot it. And the other thing is, really, people, it really gets this easy. If you shoot it in landscape and post it to Instagram, just rotate it. Make people rotate their phones because it does two things. One, you get, you know, that whole area to use. But two, it makes people, if someone's really interested, they'll rotate their phone and you get that attention, that watch time, because someone's going through the effort to actually go, you know,
the barrier to them swiping to the next video is slightly higher when they've already rotated their phone. I'll give you that one. That's a good social media tip, I think, for people. Have a play with posting some native horizontal content for them to rotate their phone. Try it.
I've got plenty of friends who do that. That's their whole thing, is they will only shoot in landscape and they'll make people rotate the phone and the content looks beautiful. It looks better in my opinion.
Just that little bit more detail when it's horizontal. And I like the way that they'll go, be ready to rotate or tilt your screen and do a countdown. It's like by the time you actually see what they're trying to show you, you're already 10 seconds in. You've already committed. They've already been engaged. That's a stat, you know.
Plus, I'll die on this hill. There's no context in vertical. How long is it going to be before we see a vertical cinema? Never.
Yeah, never.
Because it's a terrible way to view perspective of a scene. You can't, you know, when you're watching like a news thing that was shot on a phone and you're like, I can't tell what's happening because you don't know who's over there and who's over there.
Exactly.
Whereas if it was from a journalist that shot it horizontally, you can see the scene and you can move it. Anyway, but the phones are what we've got and we got to play the game.
I'll die on that hill with you. I'm 100% with you there. Horizontal, even having moved through my career between shooting, you know, commercial work to doing almost, you know, my own social media, other people's social media, I really hate vertical. As much as everyone's like, oh, but it's you know, it's for social media.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it for someone else.
That's right. But you know what else is interesting? You know, we see movie trailers come out on social media a lot now, you know, depending on what channels you're following. And they don't do the rotate and watch the full screen of the trailer. They go vertical and they cut out so much of the context of what you're trying to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand that mentality about, like, maybe it's enough to sort of for you to click on the link and go to a YouTube video or whatever it may be, but it just feels misplaced having cinematic movie trailers, where you've got to try and work out what's going on. And there's compromises to that. It is interesting that the open gate debate, you know, when I used to review products for like I'd review cameras and lenses, we'd often get a media release in the lead up to the launch, and it was all under NDA and stuff. And things like open gate would be bolded in the text. Because they're buzzwords that people think they're getting more value. As soon as you say open gate, it sounds technical. It's slick, but it also makes you feel like you've got something more important than something that doesn't have open gate. A lot of people won't even understand what open gate means, but it's just because they put that buzzword in there and it's in all of their marketing, people think that it's, you know, this compelling new feature, which it is. It is a new feature. But it's not for everyone. It's only for, like, you know, the 5% of the 100 that require.
I wonder whether I'd love to ask. I don't know if we asked him or not. Love to ask Chris Benny, because it's people like Chris Benny, automotive photographer and videographer, that I would imagine that open gate on these smaller cameras gives them a lot of flexibility. Like, he's using cameras mounted on rigs. They're doing chase footage of Red Bull stunt planes and stuff like that. Like, that's an application where I could imagine having open gate might be very, very useful in high-end professional action sports video. But he also might say, nah, we don't use it. I have no idea. I should ask him. Maybe I'll send him an email, see what he says.
That would be interesting, because the other thing is I started on my video on a Blackmagic 6K, right? With 6K, you have so much room to crop and still have it look good. Like it really, I never really thought about it. And even now on the R5, I'm back to shooting pretty much exclusively 4K. I haven't touched the 8K RAW on it yet, as much as I really want to. It's just overkill. It's so overkill. 1.8 gigabytes per second or something. It's just like, it's stupid. It is a stupid amount of data. So I haven't touched that yet, but I've never, worst case, if you do want to vertically align horizontal footage, you put it in and then you put a background and blur the background and just have the video go in the middle. Like,
yeah. Oh, Greg, you're muted. Hang on, I got you. No, I don't.
Oh.
You might have to unmute your mic. There he is.
There you go. Sorry.
Okay, he's back.
Had to cough.
All right, quickly. This is a comment from Woob Says. Hi, Matt. Lol.
Hey, mate. That's one of the guys that comes out to all of the bike events that I go to.
Okay.
Ah, cool.
That's one of my followers, and you guys probably have a new one.
Yes.
Bubsy, you better go subscribe, mate.
Yeah, please do. We need to pump our numbers
please do.
up.
Give us a
Anyone
like.
else?
Give us a subscribe. Tell your friends.
Oh, hey, while we're doing it, let's do a little ad for the podcast. We have a guest coming on next week that I'm very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Coulson.
Indeed.
Australian fashion, beauty, and portrait photographer. But massive body of work, hugely regarded, award-winning, massive YouTube channel with everything you could ever want to learn about, particularly black and white beauty, fashion, studio work, master of lighting, master of working with models. Very, very excited. So if you are new to the channel, we do an interview every Thursday, like this one. Next week, Peter Coulson. So stay tuned for that. Hit the notify bell thing and you'll know when we go live.
Yeah.
I'll
Anyway,
definitely tune into that one.
definitely worth a look.
Definitely.
That'll be interesting.
Back to the show. Show. Should we talk about like what you do now? And what you do now, and then eventually I want to get to like what you're trying to do, what you're trying to build. But like what's your work look like now? Paint us a picture.
The best way to do it is which side do you want? Do you want the boring side? Do you want the fun side?
Everything. Like
everything.
what makes you money? What do you have to do that you don't love, but you do it because it's either you're learning something or that you're making money or whatever? What do you love that doesn't pay you anything, but you wish it did? Tell us everything.
Okay, so we'll start with the boring one first. Is what makes me money. That's corporate. So we're talking training videos, back-end communications, all the really, really like want to fall asleep recording type things. They're fun. They are fun, but they're fun to set up. They're, to set your lighting up, to get, you're in, I can't say heaps about some of these, but you're in these big buildings in the city overlooking the harbor. So you want to get, the harbor in the windows in the back, and, it's interesting talking with CEOs and stuff like that of these big businesses, but it really is just getting two people to sit and talk to each other in a chair. It's not overly interesting to actually record and edit and whatnot, but it's interesting to set up and, be there and do. So that's a lot of the money. It's good money. It's just very difficult work to not only find, but to continue and to be able to accommodate for, because sometimes they'll want 2 camera setups or 3 camera setups, and they want certain lighting conditions, and they'll want, very certain things that you either need to buy some really expensive gear for, or you really have to know how to do. And you get to work in some really odd conditions. I've worked in, what's it called? Like warehouses and stuff. And warehouses are a very interesting location to shoot at because there is so much going on. There's so much going on, and you really have to be on top of your takes because, oh no, someone with a forklift has just smacked into a pallet. There goes your like there goes that bit of the take. So it's it's a very, as I said, fun to set up and be ready for. Very boring to shoot type of thing.
I'll just interject there before you go on to the next thing. A little pro tip from Dennis. Approach these boring corporate shoots like it is the most important job you have ever shot. Light, audio, treat it like art.
So
love it.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Dennis. It is every one of these jobs always does feel like the most important thing I've ever done because partially the caliber of people you're working with. It's like, wow, these people are really, top of the food chain people, and it's like I really have to be nailing this whole thing. So yeah, there's that, and then kind of on a lower level from all that, I do work for local councils, businesses, stuff like that. That's a lot more fun. You get a little bit more freedom, but it's a little bit higher stress, lower budget. Not terrible. Like you won't hear me complaining about it, but they'll want very, some clients will want very certain things out of the content that they get, and some do not care. Some just go, we want this captured. You can do whatever you want with it. Some go, we want 8 revisions on this, and it's like, okay, great, have fun. But I think corporate events are some of the most fun things to shoot in this little bubble. I love my corporate events, whether it be dinners or meetings or we did one up in the Hunter Valley once. I love this. This is my favorite job I think ever. It was 3 days at the Ridges Resort in the Hunter Valley, and we basically got to run around with this company, and it was their one of their end of year celebration things, and they had 2 teams of the company. I got stuck with the really fun side of things where they were, they were playing all these games, and they had technology that the company produced, and they were able to test it out and all this other stuff. And then end of the weekend, the most important bit, this was like stress that we really had to, cover this, was a treasure hunt around the entire Ridges facility. And there were all these activities, and it was like, you're sitting there going, I wish all jobs were like this. This is, so much fun to, there was face painting, like you had to paint a flag on one of the group's members' faces and all this other stuff. And it was, there's really that type of work in corporate, and then there's that really boring work as well. So it's good. But that's the
I was just going to ask on the corporate stuff, like, how are you getting this work? Was this the stuff that is coming through, like you're working as kind of a subcontractor or something for someone else, or is some of this coming through your business?
Bit of both. So primarily subcontracting. I have some very good friends who will bring me in for second camera or whatever. They'll bring me in for that. Some of it is through my own business. Not as much as I'd like, but some. But yeah, that's the other big thing. I forgot to say it before when we were talking about talking to people. Other photographers and videographers are your best friends. They will give you more work than going out and finding clients will.
Definitely.
That's one of the biggest takeaways I've had in the past few years is make friends with as many photographers as possible, because someone's going to have a sick day and someone's going to need someone to cover. And if they know that, you do good work, you're reliable, and you're a good person, you're more than likely going to get, hey, can you cover this for me? So it's
sure.
And it's also good in this corporate stuff to be working next to other people, because you're not entirely one man banding it always. So it's a little less stressful when you got someone else there to crack jokes with and help carry equipment and all this other stuff. So there's definitely that side to it. But moving on to what was the next one? Things
Well,
that I wish would.
what was the other half
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
of
So,
your
so
work?
this
You know,
is
you've talked about
yeah. What else?
So the other half's all the fun stuff. The other half is the cars, the bikes, the action, the landscape stuff. Like that's me, right? That's a very me part of my work. I've loved cars since I was like 2. There's photos I've got with hot rod shirts on, and you know, I had the biggest Hot Wheel collection as a kid. So I've been obsessed with cars.
Yeah.
And so it's starting in the career, I went out and I just started taking photos for a performance shop down the road from my house. And from there, I really started getting into it, and I started going to drift events, and my mate has a drag race car. So went to the drag strip with him, started shooting there, and it kind of just kept snowballing. I started taking on individual clients to shoot their cars. And then I got into the drifting, I got into the racing, and that led to one of the best things ever, which was committing to shooting Bathurst. So I shoot the Bathurst 12-hour and the Bathurst 6-hour. I would like to do a bit more this year, but that's for later. But I'll go up there and I'll shoot those 2 races, and it's some of the most fun. It's so full on. I'll come out of an average Bathurst weekend. I'll come out of about 8,000 photos over 2 to 3 days, but the whole time you can't wipe the smile off my face the entire time. So I do that paid or not. You know, that's one of those things that I do it because I love it. And I do it because I absolutely love cars. That's a pretty easy one to be shooting and enjoying. I've recently picked up bikes, like sport bikes and stuff, and I've made a lot of friends through doing so. And it's a very interesting shift from cars, because in cars, you know, you're shooting a car. It's there. You know, you get a good landscape behind it. You frame it up nice. You make it look good. Kind of about it. You know, most car owners don't want to model with their car. Most car owners they're not in their car doing something while you're taking photos. With the bikes, it's an interesting mix between, I'd almost say, portrait photography and that car photography, where yes, you're shooting the bike, but you're also shooting the person on the bike. And that's been a really steep learning curve for me, is learning how to shoot people in that portrait sort of setting. You know, it's not a corporate headshot anymore. It's trying to make it interesting, trying to make it fun, trying to show off the person and their machine. And it's been a really, really fun endeavor recently to be shooting that. And I wouldn't necessarily say one of those things I wish I got paid more for, but it's one of those things that I wish I never ran out of work for.
Yeah.
Because I found that with the cars. If you take a scroll back to my Instagram, I haven't shot a car in a good amount of time, like 8 or so months, until recently.
I noticed there was a shift on the Instagram from basically cars to bikes. That was fairly strong shift. There's a whole can of worms to open about the car scene and media in the car scene, but I don't get people interacting with the content as much from cars. On a like a social media numbers side, my car posts were averaging, you know, 50 to 80 likes, and then the interaction, which is really what I cared about, maybe get like 2,000-3,000 people that see it and view it and whatnot. And I was getting about 80% of my own audience seeing it. With the bikes is a complete flip from that. My average is, you know, triple-digit likes, comments, reposts, and then my audience scores are ridiculous. They're 8,000 plus on most posts, and it's mostly a new audience that's seeing them. And people love to interact in that scene, whereas cars, it's people kind of keep to themselves. Unless you're popular, people just kind of keep to themselves. But with bikes, you can be anyone, and anyone's going to talk and comment and, you know, enjoy that content. Yep. So
the shift in community really helps with the shift with the media. Like, you'll also find a lot of the guys with bikes will have nice cars to shoot as well. So keep an eye out for some of that coming this year. But yeah,
Okay.
and then the last one, which is stuff I don't get paid for. This is the true, I just want to do it because I love it. Is all my landscapes, my action stuff, shooting the skateboarding and things like that. That's always been very me. I used to mountain bike a lot, did a few competitions, and I always loved the action sports stuff. And I just go out and I go, yep, I'm going to go to this skate park, or I'm going to go to this beach, and I'm going to shoot the surfing. I'm going to shoot skateboarding. I'm going to shoot just for fun, just to see what I can do, just for fun. And it's always a good time. I don't think I've ever been miserable shooting action sports before, and landscapes, because that's like at the root of where I started with photography, was landscapes and macro and pretty much flower photos. I started shooting just flowers and trees and landscapes, and it blew up from there. So landscapes have always, I'm by no means an amazing landscape photographer.
Me neither.
Yeah,
It's so hard. It's so hard.
I look at the shots. So I'll get into the story after the next little bit, but I look at my shots from earlier this month and I go, what am I doing wrong? Like, why is this so boring? It's
They're
not like
wizards.
it was.
They're wizards. The
Yes.
people that do that make those things that we see and we're like, oh, it's beautiful. It's the work that goes into it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure yours are great. I'm just saying mine are they're just photos. And then you see someone's landscape that's a great photography. And you're like, wow, that's next level.
Like, what am I doing wrong? You know what I'm probably doing wrong? I'm probably using zoom lenses. That's probably what I'm doing wrong.
No, you can make some killer. No, yeah, I don't think that's going to hold you back.
No, it's not. But I don't know what it is. I get the settings right. I listen to all the guys at BFOP, and they still look like trash.
Well,
So-
I mean, they've probably been doing it for
Longer than
20
I've been
years.
alive, some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them have
So there is that.
that does help a bit.
I want a couple of quick comments before we move on. Firstly, LTK Photo, who shoots a lot of drift and cars and stuff like that, says this is great, lots of useful information. So that's awesome. Thanks, LTK. Get on those motorbikes. Go and start building your social profile by leading into it.
Come shoot motorbikes.
I think LTK's in what country? Can't remember. I don't think it's Australia. Although I could be wrong.
I'll come shoot motorbikes. give me a bed to stay in, and I'll come shoot motorbikes with you.
Well, there's a comment here from Dennis about collaborating. Engage Sydney light painting portrait session, fueling up the helicopter.
Oh, I couldn't understand what that meant. I get it now, as in he's fueling up his helicopter to come to Sydney to do light painting bike portraits, I guess.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, Dennis,
That'd be cool.
You'd love some of the stuff I did. I actually didn't post the photos, which I should have. We did the good old steel wool with a motorbike. I did some video. I did a video of it, but I got a few photos that I didn't post.
Did you?
Yeah. It's a little far back in my reels, but it's a red Yamaha R1, and we got the steel wool and we're flinging it around, and it looked beautiful.
I think lean into that a little bit. Definitely that sort of light painting and stuff like that.
It's different, and that's
North Carolina in the US. This past weekend, I went down to Florida and shot the Daytona Rolex 24-hour race.
Ooh.
I'm jealous. I'm very jealous. Can you smuggle me in next time, please? I would actually.
Yeah, we want to see some photos from that LTK on the Monday show when they're ready.
I'd do anything to shoot a 24-hour of anything. That's one of the big ones. I want to do a 24-hour race and shoot a 24-hour race. That's 12's fun and all, but night racing is whole different animal.
Yeah.
It just has so much opportunity for just epic imagery, doesn't it? Like I've seen Andrew Hall's stuff because he does the 24 hours. Those shots, Craig, when it's just like the early morning, like sunrise, and the lights are still on, and the exhaust is like glowing, or the brakes are glowing. You know, it's just the lighting conditions are so good.
Yeah.
Hang on. Just quickly. Are you doing a wedding? Heck yeah.
Yes.
This guy's doing my wedding.
Yes. So that is a friend of mine whose wedding I'm doing next year, September. Oh, she could kill me. September 9th, I think, is the date.
Hopefully.
It's in messages somewhere.
Step one: put that in every calendar you have, and put 1,000 alerts on it.
It's in my calendar. The actual day is in my calendar. I don't have the phone within arm's reach to check.
Good.
So yeah, I am. I'm branching out into shooting weddings. I already shoot a few proposals, so it's can't be that hard.
What's the fourth? You've just been
fourth. Okay, it's in there. It is in there.
Can't be that hard. Oh dear. No, you'll be fine. You've got the skills to do it. Are you shooting video or photos?
Hybrid. So it's going to be both.
Ooh, that's
I do plan to do a few prior to taking one on solo. So I'm not going to be, unpracticed and whatnot. And if some of the proposal work I've got is anything to go by, I should be pretty all right.
Well, if you want any tips in the lead up to it, don't hesitate to reach out to me or Jimbo. We've done plenty.
I was going to say, Greg and I were talking about that the other day.
Yeah. How many weddings do you think you guys shot over the time you were working together, Justin?
I don't remember. Not a million, because we weren't like high volume. We were probably doing I don't know. We're probably doing 35 each per year.
Wow.
But some of those by each, sorry, that's a confusing way to say it. I might shoot 35 and Jim shoots 35, but some of those we were doing the same one together as a large 2-photographer wedding. Yeah. Some of them were us, like most of them were us separately for most of the time. So yeah, I'm not sure. Plenty. Enough.
A lot.
We did enough.
Enough.
My short-term tips would be, my main tip would be if this is your first real sort of full wedding and it's just you will need to pick what your priority is. Is it photos or video? And I know you're going to do hybrid. Pick one that if all else fails, this is what I'm doing. And if it's say like, hey, I'm going to shoot photos and I'll get some extra clips to put a highlight reel together. Or I'm going to video the ceremony and everything, audio mic'd up, blah, blah, blah. And I'll get some extra photos. But that would be my advice.
Yeah.
Because once things start rolling, it's like there's no time to like do much. So as long as you know in your mind, you're like, and your friend knows, and I'm sure they'll be happy to work with you on whatever their priority is. Yeah. Just pick one and have the other one as more of that's the bonus, that's the extra that I can offer because I've got the skills to do both. But this one's my core focus on your day.
Exactly. Yeah, and that is that's definitely something we've got to chat about soon.
Is it something is this sort of like a test to see whether it's something you'd want to do more of?
Yeah, it is. It actually really is. Look, I already enjoy, it's probably the start of the slippery slope, but I really enjoy proposal shooting. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, and you enjoy corporate events. You know that corporate event you were talking about? That's basically what a wedding is.
Essentially,
I'm like it's kind of the same, but they're just not. They don't work together. But other than that, it's like fun drinking. It's like same.
Yeah, and I'm now fully equipped with this bad boy now.
Yes.
I mentioned this before we went live. I picked up a flash recently, and this has been on my hit list for a while. This is the 600 EXRT.
I know it well. I know it well. I had multiple of those. Yeah.
can you guess? We'll play a game here. Can you guys guess how much I paid for this?
Oh. What do you think, Jay?
Wow, I think because he's asking us, there's a trick here somewhere. I'm going to go low. I'm going to say $150. Greg,
Any guesses?
72. Dennis says 1995 plus tax.
Plus tax.
Close.
$0.
Dennis is actually $0.
He's the closest.
So
$0. What? Tell us.
Marketplace find. Now I
Is
hope
it the same brand as your hat?
It is. It's Monster.
Yeah. Everything. That's my because I work with other photographers and videographers. You all got to mark your gear with something, and mine's all Monster stickers. That's how I do everything. I've got one in the back of my camera as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. So you just had enough of those stickers that you were like, this will be the best way to do it.
Pretty much every one of my V-Lock batteries, all of it has Monster stickers. My hard case, you can't quite, has a sticker on it as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
My fingers, there it is. So yeah, no, that's kind of like my little signature thing. Anyway, so found this on Marketplace. He wanted 50 for it on Marketplace. I went, oh sweet, I'll grab it for 50. That's stupid cheap for what this is. And I get to leaving my job, like the job I was doing, to go pick this up. And he messages me, he goes, hey mate, I just put batteries in it and it's not turning on. I went, oh, I'm buying a dud here. So
yeah,
got into his place. I bought batteries on the way, and we put these in, lithium batteries, the best of the best. And nothing happens. You turn it on. Well, now it turns on. But it didn't turn on. It didn't turn on. And so he went, well, you can kind of just have it. If it's not going to turn on and it's a dud, you can kind of just have it for free. And I went,
it's a good deal.
Okay, I'll take that. I paid $18 in batteries. It's, not terrible. Yeah. I get it home. I slot the batteries back in and I just go bang. Whole thing boots to life. And it works beautifully. So man. I can't complain on my free flash.
And okay. The only thing I would do is put the batteries in and out like 10 times, turn it off and on like 10 or 20 times, make sure it's not going to let you down on a shoot, and then do a happy dance, because that is awesome.
Yep. I've cleaned it. I've tested it with these batteries, different like other batteries. I've tested it all. So I am very happy with it. It's been one of the best purchases as of recent.
They were a solid flash, and there was a trigger that you could get for them as well. I don't know how easy they are to get anymore that allowed you to use it as an off-camera TTL. It basically was what Godox and Yongnuo copied back in the day.
Yeah,
they just copied that system, and then basically from there, it seemed like camera brands stopped worrying too much about expanding their flash systems and kind of just let those brands run with it. Yeah.
I used to use, so I borrowed a Godox off one of my mates for the longest time, and it was good. I enjoyed it, but the only problem was I have this like softbox attachment that's built for the Canon rectangle flashes on a round Godox one. So it always I'd be mid shoot and I'd notice it like on the floor. I'd go, whoops,
no,
softbox has fallen off. Whoopsies.
Yep.
So no, they're good. They're good flashes, but flash is very. I've only recently started, like since having borrowed it off my friend. I only recently started really integrating it into my work. Prior to that, I always just used them for, I'd either rent them for a corporate event or I'd borrow them off whoever I was shooting with. So it's it opens a lot of interesting creative choices for me now when I'm shooting, nighttime events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now I've seen a couple questions in chat that I want to get to.
Which ones? You tell me, I'll bring them up.
There's the one from Sage about shooting races here.
Where's that one? Oh, yeah.
This is a really interesting one.
All right, I'll read it out. Sage says, Sage8451, who's got the Clippy profile picture. Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to shooting races, do you normally need a press pass to photograph?
Short answer, yes. So for big events, you usually need accreditation. Now, that's not to say you can't just go take photos. You can absolutely buy a spectator ticket, bring your camera and take photos. Like, no one is going to stop you. No one will stop you from doing that. That's how I got into, shooting officially for races, was by standing on the sidelines, shooting, a certain car. And if I found like a heat map of which car I shot, whoever had the most, I'd get in contact with them and go, hey, I've got this amount of content for you. Here you go. Have that's now those are your photos from me. And that's how I got into shooting for one of the big GT4 class teams last year at Bathurst. Was I did some work for a bloke who runs in a subcategory, and he went, oh, I'm racing in the GT4 next year. I want you to come shoot me when I'm doing the GT4 racing. I went, sweet. And that was the year I got accredited. Now, unfortunately, shooting for the same bloke this year, different race category, no accreditation. So the lesson to learn here is it's never a given, but if they deem you important enough, they'll give you one. But that's for big racing. Smaller events like club racing and stuff like that. Usually you just have to either Eastern Creek's my local track, and for Eastern Creek, you have to have a media accreditation through either ARDC or Motorsport Australia. It's one or the other. But every now and again, they'll let you on with a temporary pass. So it's really, you just have to ask. Worst they say is no, sorry, you just shoot from a spectator spot.
So what does accreditation, what is the benefit of that process? Does it give you better access? Can you sell prints if you just shoot from the stand, but you can't if you're accredited? How does that all work out?
So the selling prints, I'm not too sure about, because I actually haven't started formally selling prints until recently. So I'm not too sure. I'd have to do a bit of research on the selling component of it. But as far as I know, shooting from spectator, like, no one's going to stop you from making prints and whatnot. It is definitely it's an access game. It is very much an access game. There are so many spots, specifically on Bathurst, there are so many spots you can't get to that you can get with a media accreditation. Take, for example, the second corner after the main straight, or after the big straightaway going up the mountain at Bathurst. You can't get there as a normal spectator. But man, as an accredited photographer or videographer, whatever you shoot, getting to that spot is nuts. It is one of the most beautiful spots because you can just see straight down the barrel of the track. Like, you see everyone coming from the first corner and you can watch them all come up. And, you know, it lets you into... There's a few other spots specifically around Bathurst. There's a few really, really, really good spots that you can't get to via spectating. So a little bit bummed that I don't get to do that this year, but it's still going to be good shooting nevertheless. Yeah. The other thing you get access to with accreditation is media rooms. Now, the media rooms are great because you get to talk to other photographers. You get to meet other people who are doing the exact same thing as you. You get to learn from them. You get to just to brush shoulders with these people and, you know, get the experience, get the support. What was it, Bathurst last year, I had someone whose I think their wide angle lens wasn't working. And I just let them borrow my EF 16-35. And I had mainly done that because someone had lent me a set of microphones after mine just, you know, died mid weekend. So I was like, you know what, it's a great community of people to get involved with. So the benefits from accreditation really come from your location access and your people access. You also get really, really cool opportunities to meet really cool celebrities when you're a accredited track photographer. For anyone who's watching who knows their bikes and their MotoGP racing, I got a very, very, very close selfie with Valentino Rossi at Bathurst. So you get some very, very cool opportunities.
And I guess that just elevates your overall experience too, doesn't it? That, you know, it builds that energy that, because motorsport events are more often than not like a festival. You know,
Very
they go
much
over
so.
a whole weekend. There's lots of people. There's, you know, corporate tents and VIP tents and, you know, the general public and all that sort of stuff. It's really interesting.
I've some questions about the future. Your future.
My future.
Like, so you've got quite a few irons in the fire, quite a few angles. I've done a little bit of research on your, you know, social presence, your website, that kind of thing. What goals do you have? Or are you just, at the moment, are you just like head down working, don't have time to think about that stuff? Or is there some things where you're like, no, you know, within 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, I want to be doing mostly this kind of work or more of that kind of work? Or what do you want?
Would I truly be a photographer without having goals like that? You know,
you never know. You never know.
But yeah, the short answer is absolutely. There are absolutely long-term goals. Right now, it is a little bit, you know, head down, you know, working. But that's also because it's, you know, the start of the year. I've had no work for 2 months because everyone shuts down for holidays. But the big things. Now I don't know how likely I am this year to get to some of these, but next year for sure, I definitely want to try and get accreditation for Bathurst again. Definitely want to do that. I really, really want to shoot the F1 next year. I want to try and get some foot in the door, some into the F1 next year. I don't care where I have to go. I'll fly to Singapore. I'll go to Melbourne. I'm not fast.
Yeah, come to Melbourne. Come to Melbourne.
Yeah, well,
I'm only a kilometer from the track.
Yeah, I'm definitely not locked down to Sydney at the moment, so I will be traveling a lot more. That is one thing that's on the list too for the next, let's say 5. I think most of this is like a 5-year window for some of these things. I can, you know, I've got the luck of being young here. I can put that 5-year window on.
Hey, we've still got 5 years in us. Don't write us off.
You've
got another 5 years, don't we, Greg?
Cocky little bastard. What are you on about?
Yeah. This is coming from... I was up at 5 a.m. You woke up 4 minutes before the podcast.
Yeah. An hour and a half. Thank you. So
Bathurst, F1. So essentially racing, and you're wanting to do that stuff initially. I don't know if I'm hearing this right, but it's more about doing those races. I'm not going to say as personal work, but like you're not worried about whether you get paid so much as just this is something that you really want to do. That's it. Yeah.
Because I know, in a sense, if I do these things, and if I can, you know, have my work noticed, then it does become something that will pay, you know, that can pay well and can be consistent. And it's something I know that I'd die happy doing, you know. But the other thing is, to go along with that, is motorsport is obviously not seasonal, but you either have to travel a lot to make it a consistent thing, or you have to have something else to make motorsport a viable, consistent piece of work. So I'd love to scale a lot more of my corporate work in the next few years. I'd love to get a lot more of my own clients in that respect, and really start sort of in the best way building a proper business, building that up where I have consistent work. That's my goal for the next few years, is to really try and not go a week without working some form of job. Because at the moment it's like, pulling the curtain back, it's inconsistent. It's very, very inconsistent. Some weeks I'll be absolutely slammed. I'll have 3 or 4 jobs, and then some, I'll go months without anything. So I really want to, like, this year's goal is to really start getting that snowball going of more and more work, and I'm not fussed where I do that work. But to just get that client base going and get those connections going with people, that's ultimately the short-term goal. And then, some of the more fun long-term goals, like I want to shoot out of a helicopter in the next 3 years. I don't care what I'm shooting. I just want to shoot out of a helicopter. Like, and then I've put this on the 5-year one, but this may be a 10-year one. I do want to shoot out of a jet fighter. That's
fuck.
That, yeah.
That is, no, that's an amazing goal. Yeah. That is an amazing goal.
But that is,
yeah,
truly like a dream come true type shoot. I would love. Yeah. ADF hit me up. I would love to get in a jet fighter and shoot other jet fighters, training, whatever, But
I think we can confidently say that the only person around here that knows anything about that is the one and only. Whoop, wrong button. The one and only David Leparati.
Yeah.
Who also knows all about Canon and Yongnuo flashes as well. Because yes, the Yongnuo YN-E3 RT2 transmitter did work with those EX flashes. And that's what was crazy, is they just come in and said, we can just piggyback onto Canon's system and just start making more products. I bought all that. Yeah, I had the Canon stuff. And anyway, but yes, that is an amazing goal. That's one of those ones that, like you say, it's like, it's not something, you're not like, your career's not hinging on it or anything. It's just one of those things that you like, you write it down. You're like, one day, this is what I want to do. Yeah.
That's a great one. Going to like career hinging goals, like ultimately I do want this career to pay for a house eventually. Like that's, I'm sure that goal is shared among a lot of other creatives, but I do want this to end up, really just being all I do for the rest of my life. Yeah. I'll die happy with a camera in my hands, So it's lifetime goal is to make this work. Essentially, is to make this work for me, and really, get a good life out of it. Because hey, I'd be happy with what I've done now, but I know there's plenty more to do. So
and I don't think that's too tall an order, to be honest. I think if you put in the work and you network and you build your client base, but more importantly, you build your base of peers, as you said, you often get work through peers. I think there is a sustainable, future for that. Especially,
there's plenty of work that needs to be done. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
AI is not going to dominate everything.
No,
we will still need photographers.
AI will not be able to replicate a lot of our work.
No, some of it will, but there's always going to be a call for if everyone can make something with AI that is this level, there'll always be a call for something that stands out. Always, well, there has to be.
The other thing is, now I don't like harping on AI too much, but I do think there will be a point in time where people will look for an actual photographer, like a proper physical photographer over AI. It will get to a point where, so far, like, corporate archives or corporate media libraries are going to be so full of AI that people are going to just want to see like an actual photo. So I do think there's going to be this little like rise and fall. Yeah. And when the fall starts happening, you better cash in and get shooting.
You got to stay the course. Don't be blind to it. Adapt where you need to, but you got to stay the course and trust that you can't. There can't be this world where everything is generated with AI and everyone just goes, oh, cool. Like there will be ways to stand out with different forms of art and stuff like that. We've talked, Anyway,
Yeah.
I want to keep on trucking here because I'm excited and I want to know. So what have you got any plans that you're going to put in place to try and make those goals happen this year? Particularly, let's start with corporate work. What's your plan to bring that to life?
So, I want to say a lot, but there's some things I can't say. I've made a lot of recent connections to some really good corporate companies. And so I plan to really push a lot of those connections as far as I can go with it. I plan to, connect with other photographers and videographers and see where they need help, where they might need someone else to, are you not taking a job on because you don't feel like you've got enough people, or do you need an extra videographer for this or that, and to really start doing that. And the other thing I want to do is I'm trying to just go places and just take every opportunity to go somewhere and talk to people that I can, because that's, ultimately getting out and going, doing whatever, events, just walking around the city, something, I want to put myself in as many positions where I can make a connection and where I can, get a lead from. I want to put myself in as many of those positions as possible.
Yep.
Because ultimately, realistically, I don't have a single way to just go, oh yeah, I'm going to be more busy this year. I'm still at a stage where I'm needing to find a reliable, consistent client base, and I need to build that for myself rather than relying on like a 50-50 split between myself and other people.
Yep.
So, it's a very difficult thing to do. And quite honestly, I am no pro at it, as I'm still going through all the stages, but it's definitely a very big learning experience. Very, very big learning experience. And yeah, the goal is to definitely put myself in more places to get more work.
Yeah. And I think it's really rewarding to hear that answer from you, because I know, and I've suffered this as well, lots of photographers who get to a point where they could turn their craft into an income, but the idea of managing a business presents a roadblock in itself, because there's so much involved. How have you kind of built that knowledge base and understanding for yourself of how to actually turn your craft into, a financial outcome?
Does slamming my head against the desk many times count as a good answer here? Look, it's not easy. It's really not easy. And I'm still navigating a lot of it. So it's navigating it has been interesting. Learning it is very, very difficult, especially because it's my first time doing any of this. I've never run a business. I've never, there's so many little ins and outs of operating and like all the back end stuff. Not that it's a big deal, but I just had to do some of my tax stuff, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't want to do this. I was like, okay, is it really worth running a business if I have to do this stuff? But there ultimately a lot of the negatives to it all never actually comes from the photo side. It always usually comes from the business side of things. And negatives in a way of they're hurdles that I obviously have never seen in my life, so who knows how to jump over them. But once you get it over and done with, you then obviously now know how to do it, and you can just keep doing it and keep getting better at it. So it's tricky to navigate, and it's tricky to trying to think of the phrasing here.
Okay.
Get off the ground, I guess.
It can seem big, but you're getting off the ground. You're doing it. So you should never feel like you're there's this giant load of work to do, and then on the other side of that, you're done, because it's like it's never that. And
No.
it's like Dennis is 54, learn heaps every day, never stops ever. It doesn't ever stop, and the business is never set up. It's never done. It's always ongoing and evolving, and there's always the next level that you're like, oh, I have to do that now.
It's true, because a lot of photographers even suck at keeping their social media up to date.
That's right.
You know, the people we interview, and I'm no different. There's lots of photos of my cats. But there's not much on my Instagram other than that.
They're pretty good though.
Oh, thanks, mate. But yeah, like lots of people we've spoken to here, and just through chatting with other creative folks, they say, "Oh yeah, I've got this image. Oh, and actually, I haven't put it on Instagram yet. My Instagram's a bit behind." We hear that all the time because they're busy with the business of work, taking photos. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and which is part of the reason why we wanted to start this podcast was so many. I watch all these photographers on YouTube putting content out about their work, but there's way more photographers doing amazing work that don't have time to make YouTube videos about it. And that's why we're like, if we can hopefully just get them to carve out 2 hours of their life to come on here and talk about it, we can get, the world can get a bit of an insight into what it is they do and their story and all that stuff. Because most photographers and videographers don't have time to put all that content out about themselves.
Well, yeah, and that is actually something I do try and do is YouTube. That's one of the big things for me that I've started doing recently, as nerve-wracking as that is YouTube. And oh man, the first few videos of mine have been, in my own opinion, a bit of a dumpster fire. But they're out there, right? The whole point is that they're out there.
Yeah.
And
got to do it.
I've done it, right?
Yeah.
And now it's a matter of I'm going to spend more money on more cameras to record YouTube videos, because what else do you do? I've got a R50V is my next, the tiny little Canon one. It's going to replace the Blackmagic, because this thing is, I love this camera, but man, you can't do shit with these outside of like studio videos. This is useless. It's a webcam, right? It ends up being a webcam.
6K webcam.
Yeah, 6K webcam with all the bloody. Someone, if anyone's watching and wants it, it's currently on Marketplace for 1.3 thousand. comes with a lens, cages, and all this other stuff.
Check it out.
No, but I definitely agree with you that documenting and giving insight is super important.
Well, yes and no. And so we're in the back end of the podcast now. So this is the portion where I start offering unsolicited advice. Actually, no, I'll ask you. We'll make it solicited. Can I give you some advice?
Go, shoot.
Based on, this is my limited experience and my opinion only. Take it as what you will. There's a lot of things that you want to achieve, and everything that you take on is a lot of additional work and dilutes from the core thing that you're focusing on. It does. There's no way around it. I've made YouTube videos. I've done all sorts of different angles. I've got a lot of work on different projects at a time, and it pulls away from whatever the core focus is. It's just how it is. And it's something I've accepted and I'm happy to work with, but I'm always assessing whether it's worth it, this extra attention. And based on the goals that you provided before, I would definitely give YouTube a few second thoughts as to what value it's providing towards bringing you towards your goals. Particularly the goal of more corporate work. I think that there's some low-hanging fruit in that, from what I've seen, that you could go after that would be far better time spent than YouTube stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. If making YouTube videos just lights you up and it's just something you want to do, go for it. But in terms of if it's just sort of part of the package that you think you need to be doing as a photographer and a creative to put yourself out there, I don't know if I've missed it, but do you have a separate brand for your corporate work beyond you? That's probably, so I think you need to separate motorsport and bikes as you, to corporate you, and there can always be crossover, and people don't. It doesn't have to hide one from the other or anything like that.
Yeah.
But corporate clients want to see corporate work, and that's it. And a simple brand, and then particularly, I saw that you have a LinkedIn profile, but your LinkedIn profile has you with you in a car as the thing. That needs to be you on a corporate shoot. It needs to be it needs to be all corporate branding, and then you need to have a corporate branded website. This is just my opinion too. I keep saying need. I shouldn't say that. I'm saying I think that's what I would do.
It is very true though. I haven't touched that LinkedIn in a good while, so I probably should go out and change a few things there. But yeah, I do think I should probably spend a little bit more time on LinkedIn. The YouTube stuff, ultimately it boils down to I'm not going out of my way to do it. It's not something I'm sort of on the same page as you, where it's like, it's not something that's going to quite get me work, but I do like to document those exciting things that I'm going out and
then do it for sure. If it's something that you just want to do because it lights you up, but do it knowing that it's like, hey, this is it's probably it's not work. But put it in that bucket. Like say this isn't work. This is like hobby stuff, which is fun. And it could turn into anything, because YouTube is an amazing place. So don't discount it becoming something bigger than a hobby. But I just when I first saw sort of what you're doing, I thought, if I was a potential commercial client, and you gave me a card or gave me a name or whatever, I come across, I would just be like, how much commercial work have you done? And I know you've done a lot. That's the thing. So your online presence isn't presenting your capabilities well enough, I don't think. I think there could be, and it doesn't need to be a complicated website either. It can be a one-pager. It can be just a
landing place,
landing and gallery, and that's it.
And contact.
Some examples of work, what you're capable of, and I think a separate name, whether you decide to use your name for corporate and a different name for motorsport, or I would probably lean towards a different name for corporate and stick with your name for motorsport, because that's who you are, and then you can do bikes, motorsport, and everything under you. And then just run a separate corporate kind of profile.
Pretty much.
I don't know. I just think that would be, and it would probably make things clear for you too, where it's like, this is corporate work. This is motorsport work. I even price them differently. I don't need to get my rate for even a bike shoot. It's different. It's a different thing. Whereas corporate work, you have your rates, and then I still think so if you're working in with a lot of people, then you can try, and when you're building those connections, you're giving them something. Even if you're like, hey, I can be your second camera operator and stuff like that. You can even put that on your corporate profiles. Like this is I love working with other, helping teams that need to expand on shoots. If you're a team, you need an additional camera operator. Put all that there. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Matthew? Am I off? Am I on?
No. You're actually quite spot on with things that have been going on in the back of my own head, specifically about that, like really kind of trying to show that professional. Because as you'd probably know, not a lot of that work sometimes can be kept, right? A lot of that work just gets sent off, no one else can see it type thing. So the best I've got are some selfies on set and stuff like that. But even that, I just don't show that. And I think that the LinkedIn definitely needs an overhaul. And I'll definitely now start looking into a separate entity for the corporate work. But no,
I would keep them. I would keep them the same core business. So don't get too complicated. Don't make a new ABN or what business structure.
No.
But just a separate presenting brand. I think would be a great idea. And I know. So in terms of not being able to share that work, that's going to be a tricky one, and that will be a matter of just trying to hustle up some jobs, even if you do them at a lower rate or even free when you've got nothing on for a client or someone you've worked with before, or something like that, just to build a little bit of, especially like, so if corporate events are your thing, like that's the first thing that you want on there. If you're like, I love shooting corporate events, make sure that that's everywhere. Whereas if complicated sort of multi-camera shoots aren't your thing, don't bother trying to, get portfolio. Like, as in, it's not like you'd rather rock up to a corporate event than you would to a complicated multi-camera shoot. Yeah. Whereas you'd rather do a complicated multi-camera shoot as part of another team. So you could build, So you're sort of building two different avenues there. One's like, I'll work in with your team. When you get this work and you need an extra person, I'm your guy. Just let me know. Yeah. And then whereas you're putting out to corporate clients like, hey, if you need a corporate event covered, I can do hybrid photo, video, social media content. I could do it all in one person rock up and get it done because I'll shoot
pretty much. Yeah. Over my dead body, I will.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just my first thoughts when I was looking at stuff, but I wanted to hear where you want to take things from there before I sort of thought too much about it. But by the sounds of it, because that may also help motorsport too, because it doesn't confuse the motorsport side of things when you're trying to get accreditation. I don't know, like, do they look at social profiles? Do they, do they care, or is that not part of it at all? I don't know.
I don't know. It is very, with the accreditation, I don't have quite enough experience dealing with the accreditation stuff. So I wouldn't have a clue right now. Like, the gist of it that I can get for at least Bathurst is, if you're shooting for a main competitor team, you're pretty much guaranteed. If you're not shooting for a main competitor, you have to be shooting for a big sponsor. Outside of that, I don't know. So I don't know how much they look at. It is kind of weird because I do have, you've probably seen on my website, I've got an entire page dedicated to my motorsport work.
Yeah.
So I do have quite the catalog in there. I need to update it. That whole website needs a bit of an overhaul. I don't know if you saw, but I did a big update last night when Greg said, "Oh, we'll just use the website and the Instagram." I went, "Oh."
And now we haven't even pulled it up, and we made you do all that.
I know. Hey, it needed to happen. It's better that you guys made me do it than anything else.
Well, I definitely think like a website. I might be biased because I've done a lot of work with online in the past. Like I've come from online marketing to e-commerce photography. I've had and still had very many websites. It's kind of my thing. I even still make websites for a couple of clients that I'm good friends with. So I would be putting quite a bit of work into that if I were you. Pick one first too. So don't put one aside. Be like, all right, this one can stay aside with my motorsport work on it and stuff. I'm going to do a new corporate website. It's going to be super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Like, don't try and do everything at once. Just leave one off to the side and then get one done. And then when you've got a gap in your work, tackle the other one. Because it can feel like it's a massive project, but just break it down into small chunks.
Oh yeah. As with anything, it's just about making it, easily processable task and just getting it done, even if it's in the smallest bits. Like, it's like editing a big catalog, right? You just do it in, chunks.
Or for me, a big video. Oh, I look at all the footage. I look at all the hours of footage, and I just go, oh, I can't do it.
I did,
but
that.
You have to just chip.
Yeah, I'm about to start that process next week. I did another YouTube video. I'll plug this now. It's coming when I can be bothered. I'm not gonna do what I did with BFOP, where I'm like, I'm gonna release it in 2 weeks.
I like that. I like that.
The quick rundown is, I spent the last week and a bit down in Victoria again, around Bright, funny enough. But we're doing a 4-wheel drive adventure. We went all the way from Sydney down through Kosciuszko and then down into the Victorian high country. And so I've got this whole big YouTube video, like it was so difficult to capture because I've only got one camera to record with. So I can't record myself shooting with, anything. Yeah. So I wanted it to be like a come with me type vlog. I did. It blew into like 300 gigs of footage, and I went, holy shit. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's massive.
That is massive.
That's like the amount of footage that I would get when we were doing like a multi-day tourism shoot. And anyway.
That's essentially what this was, It was that I filled up 2 SD cards full of photos, and then still ended up filling some of my CF Express up with photos. I've got gigabytes upon gigabytes of drone footage. Like, wow. It's gonna be great. It's just gonna take forever to edit. But I need to cut 300 gigabytes into 15 or 20 minutes of YouTube video.
Yeah.
So wish me luck.
Be ruthless.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's definitely one thing I learned after the BFOP one was I caught myself doing so much talking and just talk, and not enough showing. But that's also one of the other reasons I'm buying the R50V when I can sell the Blackmagic is not only do I get a second RF capable camera, I also get a small little vlog camera that I can chuck on a tripod, show behind the scenes work. It also helps for just capturing regular behind the scenes work and social media content and all this stuff that can go into, building that secondary portfolio in a way. I'd love to try and do it with the Blackmagic, but you just can't really. There's no autofocus. The files are so big, you have to rig it up, and it just isn't a feasible camera to do something like that with.
What lens mount does that have on it?
The Blackmagic has an EF on it at the moment. So it's currently got my very old 17-85 on it. So it's not bad. Obviously I can't be throwing these big ones on it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I ran all my EF glass that I shot photos with for that to do video with. So it works. It definitely works.
Good. Nice.
Very cool.
Well, excited to see it come out.
It'll be soon.
Dennis was in the chat. He said, Justin, that's great advice. I'm glad because I was worried he might say, Justin, that's shit advice. Dennis has done a ton of corporate work, but also had his own very unique style of art and creating and blended them and separated them, I think, in a very successful way, where he shot F1 cars with light painting. He's done a lot of things. So he would be, and he did actually back in the chat somewhere up here, he did say, email me.
Yes.
We need to chat. So Dennis would probably be an amazing resource for this kind of stuff, having two focuses, and where to separate, where to cross promote, how to kind of approach that sort of stuff. What are your thoughts, Greg? You have a background in the corporate world. I know not from the photography side of things, but you swam in those fish tanks. I don't know what I was trying to say there. You were
so close too. You're so close.
You were in those circles.
You swam in those corporate waters. What do you think?
Yeah, I think corporate customers don't want to be dazzled by anything other than what you can do for them. Because for corporate people, even people that have big marketing budgets, everything is about time. And more often than not, they, corporate entities or their agents will give you the job with less than ideal notice, and it's being able to adapt and shift with that without it, without letting it impact you in either way. But I think, I agree with Justin. I think he's made some amazing points, which is really rare. But a separate corporate identity is really smart. Once you become big enough and well known enough, then maybe you can blend everything into this is my website. This is who I am. This is what I shoot, and people know enough about you to not matter. But I think having a separate corporate entity is a great idea. it's almost like creating a persona for yourself. You've got your fun monster hat wearing, motorsport stuff. And then the corporate side, and, as well as everything else, your landscape, your videos, that all sits over here. But your corporate side is about a simple message that's compelling to a potential client that says, you need better headshots, better corporate event photography, videography. You need these things. And this is how I can deliver them above and beyond your expectations. Look at corporate keywords that are used in corporate writing and blogs and things like that, where they will use, they use jargon, they use acronyms, and there's no reason why you can't replicate that to show people that you understand their language a bit, because corporate people, even in marketing, are terrible at explaining what their vision is, because someone higher up has said, oh, we need this. You work it out, and so down the line, before it gets to you, not everyone's sure about what's happening, So I think that's a great piece of advice. The other thing, definitely clean, crisp corporate images, but also client testimonials go a long way on a website. Most definitely get some, as you start to build yourself in this space, you go to a shoot, like you said, you talk to everyone, you find out who they are, what's their position, and you let them know why you're there and what it is that you're doing. But, it will be through word of mouth that you'll get other gigs through corporate. And often businesses are interconnected with other businesses, or, brand people that are collaborating on something will see that you did work for this side of the business. Well, hey, can we get Matthew over here on this side of the business? Maybe, you get corporate events, but then also they want to document what's going on in the warehouse.
I was going to say that it will lead to, because it's all about, you just got to get that first foot in the door with a client. After that, your website basically becomes irrelevant. After that, it becomes over deliver, like get it to them fast, and then let them know, hey, I do other work. So if there's anything else you need, especially in the video side of things, if you only did photos or vice versa, or if you ever want me, like it's just taking those steps to follow up. But like the first step, once you get the thing, just get it back to them as fast as possible and over deliver and like just make them happy as, because people they end up just wanting that person. Like my main client that I do work for, who's a friend of mine now, but like he just we were talking about this the other, he'll just forward me emails without doesn't even have a request in it. And then like, he just wants me to just figure out what needs to happen based on what's going on in the email chain, and then just work it out. Like it's sort of, they like Greg said, they don't have time. They just want it to work. Sometimes they don't even know what they want, but they just want someone else to handle it because they're busy doing everything else that they've got on their plate. And it's like, if you can be that person that someone can just like call or text or email and be like, hey, we've got a shoot next week at this time for this thing. Can you do it? And then you just, and they know that you'll just sort it out. You don't need a giant brief or all that. You don't need to quote it up. We've got a rate we're all happy with, becoming that person for the client. That's the goal, I think. Anyway. That's what I aim for.
No, ultimately that's hopefully where I, end up. That's also the goal. So it's
you've got the skills to do it. That's the thing. It's like you've got everything to do it, and you've got the experience to do it. It's just like it takes time, and you're absolutely like running towards the goals. So
I'll run through the goal.
Get through it. But, and as we've talked about, build up your network of fellow photographers, build up your community. Because community is all about helping one another out. That's what community does, right? When it's done well. And, you might have a question. You might drop Dennis an email, or you might give Bruce Moore the buzz because, he keeps his corporate videography to one side and then his fine art practice to another. Maybe you've got questions. Lean into your community, but it goes both ways. That sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
It's being available for others as well. Before long, you might come across some young videographer who's just finishing high school and, needs some advice. Reach out to them and say, hey, I went through this 5-6 years ago. Sure.
Always. Even I was shooting an event over Australia Day, and I had some kid mid job come up and start asking questions about my camera. I'm, oh, what do I get? What should I do here? What should I do here? I want this camera. I want this. And it was just like, oh, dude, talk to him, helped him out with what he needed to, what he needed to know. And I was like, I used to be that kid. I used to be him.
Yeah.
And, I pretty much the whole way I got the contact for that job was by doing exactly what he did. I walked up to another photographer at an event and just started talking gear with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't try and sell the kid a Blackmagic 6K, did you?
I actually did.
It's actually the perfect camera. It's actually the best. Yeah. It's the best camera you can get. It's amazing.
It went along the lines of how far do you want to take it and how much money do you have to drop? Because if you have
right now
1,400, I have a camera for you.
I can give you a lift to an ATM.
Yeah, it's got a lens. It's got a cage. It's got the power cables. Like you just got to buy a battery and a hard drive, and that's it.
That's funny.
Simple, right?
Simple. What? Okay, so if you had to go into the I don't even know what they have at high schools anymore. The media class, whatever the thing is at high class. If you had to go into the media class and talk to them about the realities of becoming a professional photographer or videographer right now, is there any advice you'd have for someone who's like 17, 18, they want to just leave school? Would you tell them to go and do a course? Would you tell them to go straight and try and get a job with someone? Do you have any advice?
Yeah, I do. What's the language rating on the podcast?
No
we try not to. We try not to drop the C bomb.
Okay, my advice is it's fucking hard. It is not an easy industry to just get out and go in.
Yeah.
But it is one of the most rewarding things to get out and go in. And I definitely recommend go talk to professionals, see who needs work, see who needs assistance. If you're just learning, absolutely. Even if you don't know how to use manual on a camera, go find a professional that's going to teach you manual. That's how I did it. I did work experience through school, and I the guys I did it with, I really owe a lot of the knowledge that I gained so quickly. I got taught I was 14 or 15 how to use manual in 3 days. I was a complete auto shooter from like 12 or 13. Obviously, I didn't really know it, but everyone starts there, and it's totally okay. And then I was basically thrown onto a boat and said, okay, we're shooting a yacht. Here's how to shoot manual. Learn it. And that was, the learning under pressure with a professional being able to kind of just like catch you if you start slipping is the fastest way I ever learned anything in my early days. And it's definitely something I tell younger photographers is go out there, shoot. Hell, come with me, come shoot with me. Like, it's just get out, start shooting with other people, with more professional people, with just more experienced people. Start shooting with them, pick up what they do, find your own groove. That's the other thing is you have to find your own groove in things. Like you'll never sort of stand out if you're just copying other people. You have to put your own spin on it. And, one professional's workflow might not work for you, but parts of their workflow might work really well for you. So don't force yourself to copy a workflow that isn't perfect for you. Definitely go out there and just play around, muck around, make mistakes, and don't be afraid of it, because ultimately there is plenty of time, especially again at a younger audience. There's so much time. You can make so many mistakes as long as you learn from them. Make all the mistakes you want, because it's the best way to figure things out.
Epic.
Excellent advice.
Epic advice.
I try. I try.
Should we, like, we're just over 2 hours, so we don't have much time.
I was gonna say, I did just look at the clock and I went, holy crap, we've been going for a bit.
Oh yeah,
that happens.
How we do.
Yeah.
Is there an image from your recent trip that you want to pull up and tell us about or something?
Ooh, recent trip. I
I
think
mean, it
it's
doesn't have
so.
to be recent, but
There's, you know what? I'm actually really, really proud of it. You can probably, it's on my website.
yeah, I've got it up. Whereabouts?
It should be under landscape.
Yep. Got it.
It'll be, it's like the second or third row down. I've got it covering the whole
I see
middle
it.
section there
Yeah,
with the
I like
guys
that one.
standing. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's probably one of the most epic images I've captured recently. Yeah, this one. I love this shot. So this is I think this is shot at either 180 or 200 mil. Now what you can't quite see is just over that. It's not quite a cliff. That's actually a big fire break. It's steep. It's like that, right? And it goes down in these like steps. And we were joking about driving down it and, you know, getting to the bottom, but there was no chance we were doing it. But this was, it was about 10 days ago. 10 days ago now. This is mid bushfires down in Victoria. I know you guys are copping it pretty hard down there. Which is how you get that like that haze sort of in the background there. And I just love this shot because of the compression off that 200. It's just it looks so gnarly. There's a few more. If you keep scrolling down, I think these are all off the recent Victoria trip. So these are all around Bright. True Blue Gully's on the way up to Mount Hotham there. These are some, these are a lot of fun. These might end up on the wall, especially that one. Yeah, the watermark's in a really bad spot. Don't mind me. But this is Craig's Hut for anyone who's local to Victoria. This is a 22 or a 23-minute exposure.
Cool.
Yeah,
So is it stacked? Like, because isn't that how people do star trails mostly these days? Is where you like stack it or whatever? Or how did you do it?
I set it to bulb.
Oh yeah.
I just went bulb and then I cranked the aperture to I think 5 or 6. And yeah, I just let it go. I just sat there for 20 minutes.
I love it. And it's a single capture. Single
capture. All in one go.
I love that.
Yeah,
1,145 second capture. is what Lightroom says. It's my second longest. I don't actually have my longest one up, but I have one from down in Jervis Bay that I did back in November. That was 58 minutes or 48 minutes. And I've got just some incredible star trails over the heads of Jervis Bay. Only problem is you get some slight light pollution. Because what you see in the bottom there is actually all the smoke.
I wondered that, like because it's a little bit of light pollution with haze.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's light pollution or what, because Craig's Hut is in the middle of bloody nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you zoom out and go down, I think it's down. A little bit further. I think I put them up here. Ah, yes, these ones. That's how thick the smoke was.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. That was the evening down at Lake Buffalo. So if you go back up, there's actually a clear shot of that area. There you go. There's a full lake and mountains, and there's actually in that photo there's even more mountains behind there. So there's about 4 more ridge lines back that you just can't see. Yeah, it was that thick. It was beautiful. The conditions were incredible because you get some amazing shots. Super cinematic looking with the fog in the morning and the sun rays hitting. I think, that one of the Land Rover there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Look at that
Yeah.
light. Like,
it was just awesome. And that's about 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock in the morning.
Mm,
So
there's
it
deep
wasn't even
shadows.
like, yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't even like it was sunrise or anything fancy. It was just
Yeah.
the atmosphere. And that's going back to very briefly. The landscape guys just get lucky sometimes with this stuff, you know? And
Mm.
I never quite understood it till I was out there. I went, holy shit, I am one of those landscape guys that's getting lucky.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not luck. It's
I was
about
gonna say,
perseverance.
exactly.
It's
like
always being there.
The more you
True.
try, the luckier you get, because you put
Yep.
yourself in the position to get lucky more often.
That's-
It's all about that. Yeah.
And we say that even in street photography, you know, people say, "Oh, that's a lucky shot." It's like, no, I was down there for an hour and a half every day for 7 days. I made it a
Yeah.
daily ritual. That was just
And
one of,
then it,
1,000
and then it's
shots I took.
still lucky, but it's like,
It
it's
is.
not like you didn't, it just happened once and it was a fluke.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
you made yourself to be in the right space for that luck
Yeah.
to strike.
Yeah.
oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got to be available.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
want to get hit by lightning, you got to climb a bloody tree. Like, it's, right place, right time.
So it works with unlucky too. You can get way more unlucky if you constantly climb trees in lightning storms.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I don't know.
We've
got
It depends. It depends. But yeah, you got it. Yeah,
It's a
right
numbers
place.
game.
Yeah, it is absolutely a numbers game, and the more time you can spend being in the numbers, the better.
Yeah.
Like,
Most
Well,
definitely.
I'm excited to see that that video
YouTube
come out.
video.
I don't
Yeah.
want to give you any more equipment to buy. Do you have a GoPro?
I do.
Oh,
I've
well then
got-
why don't you? Did you take that on your trip?
I did,
Perfect.
and no, not perfect. It burnt through. I think I killed one entire battery, like permanently killed one. My GoPro's having issues, so I did bring it with the intent of doing behind the scene. We had it rigged up in the car, like Top Gear style, pointed at us.
Yeah.
And
Even
kept-
POV chesty strap for shooting. That's how I did almost all my YouTube videos. I never used the second camera. It's just like just POV on the chest.
Yeah, I've actually got a second YouTube video. I wasn't going to talk about this, but it's a much shorter YouTube video coming from the first week of 2026 that I'm also really behind on, but no one has to know that. Where it's a more POV sort of come shoot landscapes with me. And it's a lot more of me talking to the camera, but also showing what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So I'm kind of using the R52 as a GoPro, just without actually showing myself shooting with the R52.
Right.
So I'm showing what I'm shooting, what I'm looking for, why I'm doing it, what settings I'll probably use, pointing the camera and like pointing with my hand, oh, I see like this sea cave down here and I want to get this of these rocks over near it and yada, yada, yada. So I'd definitely be using this guy if it wasn't nuking batteries. I've also got this one too, speaking of GoPros.
Oh, old school. Nice.
Oh, wow.
I do like my old school gear.
If you can get a hold of some batteries to try in it and figure out if it needs a firmware update or something, or why it's cooking them. But POV, chesty strap, there's so many people I follow on YouTube that do great work, because if you can like see the scene and they're pointing at the scene and then they lift their camera up and then see what they framed, it's such a cool way to watch how people work. And
absolutely,
you'd be great at it.
That ultimately that's the plan, is to just show people what goes on. Because it is such a fun process to do as well. It is a really fun process. But so definitely.
How many hours do you reckon it takes to edit like a YouTube video?
It depends. That BFOP one took me, I want to say I did about eight or 9 editing sessions. So at least 20 hours of editing for that. I'm not super efficient by any means. But you also, like, obviously no one sees it. But I cut a good hour of content out of that. There's a whole scene up there that I still joke about, and I still have the recording color graded and whatnot for it. But it's me sitting in this big, like it's like a Subaru sponsored chair on Mount Hotham. I'm just sitting there talking about the bloody mountain and the weather. Like it's a completely useless bit, but you still got to watch it just in case there's something in there that's like worth using.
A clip that you could use or whatever. Yeah, exactly. You got to check everything, and it takes a long time.
And then picking the color grades, watching it over different devices to make sure it all looks good, and going back and changing it, and then forgetting to regrade a clip. So you got to go back and grade it and re-export it. I think exporting times alone was, I think, 14 hours of exporting.
Really? Crazy.
That video has 22 revisions. So that video got exported 22 times because I just kept changing things.
Yeah.
It was originally 48 minutes long, and I cut it down to I think 30 something. It's a long video. It's still a long video of me just going blah 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 at the camera. So
sounds like what we do every week.
Yeah.
We just make long videos.
This is no editing.
Yeah, no editing. This is a lot more interesting doing it on the fly than it is, you know.
It is indeed.
Yeah. You'll hate me saying this because you're a professional videographer and I'm a photographer that started doing video. But I learned to shoot log and stuff like that, and I still shoot log for my mountain bike work because someone else edits it and it's easier for them to have the option. But man, I do not shoot log. And I do not color grade anything ever. I shoot it in a picture profile. I put it in 422, so 10-bit, so that I have a tiny bit of latitude. But I put it in a picture profile on the back of the camera and I make it look good, and then I move on.
Yeah,
Justin, you hurt my heart, mate.
I thought I would. I would.
But in saying that. That's why I don't use this nearly as much as maybe someone else would, because you can't do that. I love sitting there color grading. That's the most fun bit about making videos for me. Is color grading.
I hate it.
Right? No. I've always loved the post production part of it. And you can't do it with this. This looks terrible. The colors on this it's a 10.
It's a 10. So it doesn't have the log.
The D-log. No, it's
D-log.
got the D-log.
It's
got like the D-log light. It's got the really crap one.
Like the flat profile.
Yeah, it's just a flat profile. So it's really crap. So I've never really like used it because I try and keep all that video work really nice and cinematic and consistently cinematic.
Yeah.
So, but that's, you know, any excuse to buy more cameras as well.
Well, I mean, look, exactly. That R50V, that will be a good, like you say, second camera, third camera, backup camera, fits into your workflow, all that stuff. So it makes sense. I'm not trying to dissuade you from getting. No, I'm just saying that the POV style thing, I think would work really well because it's like you can also work quick. Like if you're forward driving in the high country and you want to go and quickly shoot something. You don't have to be like, I'll just got to set a tripod up and put my R50V on it and then walk over there and shoot something. You just throw the GoPro on your chest and go and do your thing and just talk to the GoPro.
Yeah. And I do see that. The other thing is like, you're gonna kill me for this one. I'm buying the kit with it, so I'm buying the little kit, 14 to 30 or whatever it is with it, for that exact reason of just being able to have it completely set up, ready to go. Click it on, bang. Recording.
I'll show you something I bought before we end this podcast, which we're just rolling on. Hang on. It doesn't get very favorable reviews, but I bought the Canon microphone, the digital one, so no cords. I really wanted to get rid of cords, and it's all controlled through the menu of the camera, and it's even got its own dedicated menu button on the back of it, and you can adjust it from shotgun mono out to like 45 stereo or whatever it is, and then like 180 stereo. And it works quite well.
You like it?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's not quite. I had a Rode video Mic Pro Plus, but I drowned that. And it's not as good as that, but having no cords and having it just quickly go on and lock, and I get digital, so I can shoot 4-channel because I can still take 2 channels through the mic input. So I can actually have this on top and then run my DJI wireless mics and have 4 channels. So I could get like ambient or backup, and it's pretty handy.
That's really
that's really not bad.
Does it transmit? Sorry, I was just going. Does it transmit purely through the hot shoe, or does it use like a wireless?
No, hot shoe. So hang on, can I do that? No, it's not in product showcase mode there. No. So it's got extra connections. It only works on R5 R3 and R6 Don't know about the R6 the modern hot shoes.
Yeah, you need the
extra pins.
Yeah, active hot shoe or whatever they're called. I can't find mine.
But yeah, it's so it transmits through that. Sony's been doing it for a little while. They've actually got, I think they've got 2 or 3 different ones that and like a one that takes an XLR maybe as well. Like they've got quite a bit
top handles for their FX3s. Yeah. But Canon just did that. Canon just did that for their C50 or whatever as well.
C50. Yeah, I don't know if that top handle fits any other cameras. I haven't looked into that.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it fit the R5. But I don't know if you can see it just up in the back there, that little handle thing. That's a full cinema, like handheld cinema rig. And that usually houses, I've got a shotgun mic on it that I actually connect to the DJI wireless unit. And so I can do that 4-channel through the DJI, one with the shotgun and then one with the actual unit, because I've got the dual unit one.
Yep. Nice.
And then you just do the left-right. Yeah, the left-right split, and then you've got one ambient or shotgun, and then you've got the voice.
The voice, yeah. Nice.
Clever way to do it.
So
that's for sure.
I don't know how I feel about the hot shoe mount one though, because I rig up a lot.
I was going to say I'm a run and gun. Like I don't have a cage. I have nothing. I don't use a screen. I don't use anything.
What? Like you don't even have like one of the?
Nope.
Really? These? Okay. I do have to say, this cage is one of the best things. This is not going to focus because I'm going to manually adjust it. But
hang on, let me bring you up.
It's somewhere.
Make it bigger.
Oh boy. Yeah. So this cage is probably one of my favorite things I've ever put on the camera. Side strap. I know it's not a lucky strap, but
boo.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. But that cage, I have some very good. I've dropped. No one who's buying my Blackmagic heard this, but that Blackmagic took a tumble once. Came out completely undamaged, but that was only
actually better than when you dropped it.
Yeah. No, the Blackmagic had we were out shooting just like this really cinematic video out in one of the rainforests, and someone slipped over. The guy who had it wasn't me, thankfully, but the guy who was using it slipped, and he hit the ground, camera like to his chest, and lost grip of it. And I had the Blackmagic caged. I had dual rails coming off of it. It was rigged. No damage, nothing. The worst I did was, worst that happened was the little Rycoat thing, like this guy snapped. That was it. Other than that,
nice.
That's good.
That cage, but there were scratches on the cage. You could see there were scratches on the cage where it had like grazed something. It was like, wow, if that had have been not rigged up at all, that would be a very dead Blackmagic.
Yeah.
So
true.
Cages are very worth it.
I've never used a cage. We we attach these camera straps to ours, so then we don't drop them. Cage not needed. But other than that, no, I just don't have it.
Ooh.
I never use. I used to have a monitor and stuff like that, and I just found that it didn't change the way that I shoot. Yeah, it's just it's too fast, too run and gun. I'm not doing pro interviews or anything like that need that level of like perfection.
Even then, the monitor, like, just a quick bit about monitors. Like, I don't find myself, like, it's on there, but I don't find myself using it all that often. Like, I'm usually using Canon's little screen that they've got. I'm never really looking at a monitor. So that kind of, the monitor's quick release, just if I don't want it, I don't have to have it. But back to the straps. I don't know if Greg told you the story. I was going through.
What have I done?
Yeah, no. I was going through some of my old screenshots, looking for something. I think I was looking for a receipt of clothes that I'd bought. I scrolled really, really far back. We're talking I think it was 2021 or 2022, far back. And I saw a little screenshot list of things I wanted for Christmas. And the third image was a camera strap.
What sort?
It was, where's the phone? It was, I think, the Leather 2.0. It was one of your camera straps. It was a Lucky strap.
Of course it was.
So
I'm sad that Santa didn't get it for you, though.
I know, right? Right? Santa could have gotten it for me. Hold on, I think it's a favorited image because there was no way I was losing it. It was in here somewhere. Oh Lord, it better be in here somewhere. I can't find it. I can't find it off rip, but I'll send it to you, Justin.
Okay,
it is there, but I've known about you guys for a lot longer than I thought, which is really funny.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
We've
been around. I think this is 12 years.
You guys are in my local camera shop as well. Right next to the R50Vs. There's a Lucky Straps.
Oh, the
display.
The display, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a heap of them out in camera stores.
So
yeah, they were cool.
There's there's plenty of display for you guys.
Look,
hi Finn. Hi Finn.
Finn Beegie. I love you, Matt.
Hi Finn. That's all my brothers. That's one of my little brother's friends. Hey dude.
Oh, that's cool.
Very cool. Well, look, I think that might be a good place to wrap.
I think
today's conversation. But with that in mind, obviously, I just want to remind everyone that's watching or listening, whether it be live with us now, thank you for joining us, for wagging work for a couple of hours, or you watch us later. This is the Camera Life podcast, and it's proudly brought to you by Lucky Straps, which is also us. We're Lucky Straps. Yeah. So we support ourselves. It's this cycle thing that we have. But head to luckystraps.com, use code Greg at the checkout, and you can get yourself a healthy little discount on a leather camera strap. We do wrist straps, we do wide straps for bigger bodies, we do thin straps for smaller bodies, and we offer amazing customization. Plus, every Lucky Strap includes a quick release system, which includes a buckle and a locking release system, so you can take your strap on and off your camera at will in just a few seconds. Whatever you want.
Freedom.
But also, while you're here watching the Camera Life, please make sure you give us a like. It helps us out a lot. It lets other people know that we exist. And don't forget to subscribe and tickle the bell icon to always, so that way you'll get notified in your time zone when we're going live with our next show. And as we said earlier on, next week we've got Peter Colson. Week after that, we've got Bronwyn Kidd. We've got Richard Grenfell. Plus, we've got a bunch of old friends co-hosting with us on Monday nights. So make sure you subscribe. Do we have someone
on this Monday night?
Not anyone really important, just Glenn Lavender.
The one and only?
The one and only Glenn Lavender.
Maybe we should see if we can get his song for the intro.
Maybe we should. I'll have a chat to him.
I'll unbox this on Monday night and we'll see what color it is.
Oh, yeah, I've got a box to unbox
too. Yeah, they're a mystery box.
Okay.
They are a mystery box. Oh, you've got something too.
Yeah.
Been shopping. I think I might have something else coming as well.
By the way, Justin, you've got some great taste in storage. These things are great.
Which one?
The big racks, the big metal storage racks. They are so good, dude. Mine keeps going. I don't know how far more of my screen you can see, but it keeps going. They are so good.
Yeah. Mine's my whole office. Hang on, where are we? Do that. and then
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, and it keeps going.
Yeah,
Look how messy
yeah.
my office is.
Oh,
Crazy.
Don't put my camera on a widescreen.
All right, let's call it, shall we?
We shall call it. Matthew, just before we go, just thank you so much on behalf of us here at the Camera Life podcast. Thanks for joining us and sharing with us your journey and your story and all the amazing things that you've achieved already in your career as a professional photographer. We applaud that because it's not an easy market to get into, especially with the influencer crowd flooding every social media you can imagine. But you're creating differentiated work. And I think more than anything, your motivation and desire to be better at what you do stood out for me the most. So congratulations. And thank you so much once again.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. It's been great to chat with you guys, and off air as well. It's been incredible to talk with you guys and hang out at BFOP and everything. Keen to definitely do more throughout the year. We'll definitely all be in touch. But thank you so much for having me on. It's been some great conversations.
We'll be keeping an eye out for these YouTube videos. I'm excited.
Yeah, yes, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
But on that note, Matthew Garberg on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed, just search it, subscribe.
I said hi up in the chat, so you can find it up there as well.
Yeah, cool.
So
very cool. All right, well, let's play some music and let's say goodbye to some folks, Justin.
Roki8048 says, good on you, Matt, mate. Love it,
mate.
LTK Photo says, photo question. Zombie.
Oh, the zombie apocalypse.
I know what the answer will be to this. Is that I assume that's okay. Yeah. If you had to run off into the zombie apocalypse with just one camera and one lens, just one, what would it be?
One camera, one lens.
Yeah. Gotta make it punchy. Come on, off the top of your head. The zombies are coming.
R5 Mark II 24-105.
I knew it.
Lazy.
That 24 to 105 2.8 is a zombie apocalypse. So what couldn't you shoot with that?
Best lens. You can't, you could shoot everything with that thing.
Oh, whatever. Play the music. Yeah. We'll see you Monday night, everybody. Be safe.
Good answer. Okay. Dennis Smith says, nice work, team. Matt, let's connect, man. Hey, there you go. Dennis. You won't find better advice than what you'll get from Dennis. Who else have we? Oh, Philip Johnson says, thanks, Justin and Greg. Special thanks, Matthew. Thanks, Paul says, you create your own luck. Oh, Julie Powell was here. Better late than never. Hi, guys. Hi, Julie. It was good to see you. David Leparati had to sign off early for an appointment. Oh, we missed Exy was in the chat. He says, hello, Greg. Well, thanks, Exy. Good to see you too. No, thanks everyone else. It was awesome having you all here with us today, and we'll catch you guys on Monday night or next week, Thursday, with Peter Coulson. Goodbye.
See you guys. Bye.